would have guessed.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that far away.
That sounds like a lot. 60 sounds like a long time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's almost September, Mike.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like Lufkin's. I would have guessed Lufkin's in like 3 weeks.
You want to point quick? I love saying that. Hello, friend.
I hadn't made it to the LLPs or the 540s yet, so spoiler alert.
Look at that camera guy back there getting the shots. Did some of my RPM ones come through?
Yeah.
Did it?
And then manual track is a lot cleaner because you can actually see it.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. Hello, friends. How are you?
We're good. We're good. We're good. Jason, you got the shot. You have the advantage of being like 9 inches taller than I do when you're back there at the starting line. So
That's nice. Look at Wayman's pictures.
My
comes
name's
in handy.
my name's Jason. This is Kenzie. His name is Mike. Other hand.
Yeah.
Welcome to Let's Grow Pulling. Hello, friends. Welcome to Let's Grow Pulling. When we talk about how hot it was in Wisner last year, that's what it is today.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hotter than hell. Is that okay to say? Mike, you're a teacher. It's hotter than hell.
The single hardest part about going back to school, and I'm open with my students about this, is switching over into no cuss words allowed mode. So you almost need like a buffer period for the first 2 days where they wear earmuffs and you filter yourself. But no, you can say it. We're at after hours here. It's very warm outside.
Oh, way to go.
Yeah.
So exciting show tonight. Again, Mike Idle, probably the best voice, right? Of
The most excited.
the most excited voice of our Let's Grow Pulling podcast. Kenzie, you are
I'm just here.
Kenzie's just here, and I'm the guy that's been here for like many, many years. So awesome show tonight. We're gonna have kind of a, I don't know, like a summary, almost like a graduation speech, if you will. So for the next 15 minutes, we're gonna preview upcoming events that promoters hired the Beer Money Pulling team to promote. Then at 8:15, Greg Randall is gonna join us from the NTPA, and I called each one of like the main people of these associations that said, hey, I'm gonna give you 15 minutes. Come on, let's talk points. Let's talk about your season. Let's talk about upcoming polls, any storylines they want to talk about. So Randall's coming on to talk NTPA at 8:15. Ron Jones, a.k.a. Ron Stone. That's a long story for the California guys. He's coming on to talk outlaw truck and tractor pulling. Well, Foreplay did it again. Absolutely, Jake. At 8:30, John Mears coming on from PPL at 8:45. 9 o'clock is going to kind of be, we're going to wrap it up before we go into the second hour. We're going to talk about full pull picks. And then at 9:30, Brian Massetti from MLM Motorsports is going to join us. So I want to know in the comments, what poll did you go to this past weekend, or which poll did you watch on the live stream, and what did you think about it? And Kenzie and I are in Madison, South Dakota. What else do we have going on? Full Pull Live was in Wellington, Ohio this past weekend. And then Lorain County Fair in Ohio had a combine demo derby, Mike, on Saturday night. And we live streamed it for free on the Beer Money Pulling Team YouTube and Facebook page. So pretty awesome to see a combine derby. It had over 100,000 views on Facebook, I saw.
Did the Gleaners kick butt and take names?
I don't know. I didn't have a chance to watch it yet. We were doing Madison, South Dakota.
There's some who would say that a combine demolition derby is the most fitting place for a Gleaner to be competing in. So
it might be Tony Reed from Growing Corn 2020 on TikTok, something like that. Yeah, but let us know where you're watching from tonight. Let us know what polls you went to. Ask us any questions. We'll have Greg on in about 10 minutes. Prayed, yeah.
He's he's a hustler.
Yeah, he is. I'm a hustler. I am an ugly stripper. Cole Lundell.
Isn't that how you got through college?
Pretty much. That's why I didn't graduate. Cole Lundell does an awesome job with pictures for the Outlaws. Way to go, Cole, whatever events he attends. J Class Way. Watching on the Facebook. Foreplay did it again. Crazy Jacks says Beer Money Pulling Team High. Mark Harmon says cool. So yeah. So thanks for checking the night. Again, big show. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna cover all from sea to shining sea, basically, with all the people we have on tonight. So Kenzie, if you can start flipping through, we'll give a rundown on all the events we have coming up here.
Hang on.
Yep.
Get behind this.
Oh, you're gonna put them up there.
Oh, and up there.
Okay. You want me to put them up there and you open up there? Yeah.
I
Let's
can
split
only
it
do one at a time.
because I don't want to mess you up here.
Yeah, please don't.
We'll do this, and then we'll do this. That's not the one I'm looking for. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. There's Mike. Do. Robert's checking in from Nebraska. Where we go, Mike? I want to just get this set up, Mike, so I can do the posters.
All good. It's gonna be a thing of beauty.
So New London, Ohio, coming up this weekend, right? So Monday, it's Labor Day.
Yeah.
You call it this weekend, Monday, September 2nd. New London, Ohio. That's OSTPA. Looks like a good time there. OSTPA, they wrap up their season the end of October, right?
I think so, yeah.
So September 2nd, 5 p.m., New London Recreational Park, New London, Ohio. Beautiful poster up there, OSTPA. For those of you going on out there, Ohio is really happening in August, isn't it, Mike and Kenzie? I feel like there's just a lot of polls out there this time of year.
Ohio is, when you watch the movie Field of Dreams and they're like, is this heaven? They're like, no, this is Iowa. Like that's the version, but for truck and tractor pulling. Ohio is the heart and the epicenter of truck and tractor pulling. And the NTPA schedule, of course, they're based out of Ohio. They'd run like once they get done, if you take Sandwich, Illinois out, like after Chapel Hill, their entire rest of their season's in Ohio, basically.
Yeah, the Grand National is, yep.
Time of the year, just, yeah,
A lot of fairs going on. Dylan Dirks is going to join me Thursday night on FullPull.live with Sandwich. That's sign there. Our announcers this weekend in Canton, Ohio are going to be Dan Mayer, Jeremy Krieger, and Phil Kelly. And then we're also going to do Wasion, Ohio as well on Friday night. So that's going on there. Jake, how long did Bowling Green go on for? It's just 5 sessions, Jake. I don't think our livers could handle much more than that. So
I think he meant the time.
Yeah,
Oh, the
I was
time?
curious too. What was your
Yeah,
what was final red Saturday night?
12 something.
That's not bad at all. Because I checked my Snapchat and I had Snapchat stories from you, and it was like I got up early on Sunday morning and it was like posted like, I don't know, 45 minutes ago or something from Jason Schultz on like the Sunday morning of Bowling Green. So the festivities continued well into the night, it looked like.
Yeah, I just got a text with Chase that I cut my face off of my own show. Hi, Chase. Say hi. He does.
Johnny Reeve out of Paloma.
The poster is more important than my face.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. Stark County Fair, Ohio, farm stock during Saturday. Derek, we did Greenville, Ohio on Full Pull, didn't we? Yeah, that was last Tuesday night, I think.
Oh, Stark County, that's Canton.
That was Canton. No, I thought we did.
Stark
We
County
did.
is Canton.
Stark County is Canton.
Uh-huh.
Derek, what time did the farm stalkers start on Saturday during the day? So Friday night's Grand Nationals, and Randall's back in makeup. I looked at him; he needs a few more minutes of makeup yet, so we'll keep pounding through these. So yeah, look at him; he just did the back there watching a Raiders game probably. But sandwich, Mike, we got to think of something funny like the market sandwich, like how do we say it? Like I'm hungry for a sandwich or something like that.
I'm hungry for. That's just typical like
a horsepower sandwich.
Yeah.
Derek, we will get a lot of video from the farm stock.
Well, they used to have, they were famous because their police cars just said sandwich police on the side of them. And then they changed it to like
sandwich
the sandwich.
police.
they changed it like
that.
the sandwich patrol officers, but no, it
Google
used
that.
to just say the sandwich police on the
Cindy's
side.
going to Google that. We're going to find out. Say sandwich police cars.
Yep. And it just said sandwich police.
Lumberton, North Carolina, September 6th and 7th. I'll be down there. That's going to be fun. Unionville, Missouri, Outlaws. Friday, September 6th. Mike, you'll be working Outlaw Pulling TV there. The great.
I'm going to double dip. I'm going to teach all day long and go work Outlaw Pulling live stream.
I like it.
It's, they're having, diesel supers and super open. They're doing the dual to fuel. So we're doing
I don't
like a
think they
dual
are
to
anymore. I don't think they
Oh,
are.
I mean, I wondered all year long how that was going to work
Did you find
with the Outlaw schedule. So
Okay, we found the sandwich, please. Hold on, Mike. Thank you for bringing this up.
yeah, I'm a wealth of randomly
Here, take
purposeless. Yeah, the same.
Oh, Sandwich, Massachusetts.
Oh no, there is one in it's Sandwich, Illinois, though. Like they do have
I
it.
don't
They are
know.
the same.
I didn't read the.
Still funny. It's still funny.
You're going a long ways if you're live streaming from Sandwich, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buckner, Saturday, September 7th. That's MSTPA and Outlaws. That's Ken Summers' hometown pull. 2 tracks there. 1 track is MSTPA, 1 track is Outlaws. And then Nashville, Illinois. That's a final hook for PPL, I think, for Champions Tour.
I think so. Yeah.
That's Brad. That's the home of the Pullers Championships.
That's
September 6th and 7th. So we're gonna have games up that, some cash pick games there for full pull. Kevin Davis is watching tonight. Nashville. This is what, so Nashville's doing this. They got some extra bonus money in there. We'll talk about that a little bit later tonight. But every class gets $4,000 added to it if there's 15 or more in a class.
Oh, I like that. That's a smart way to do things.
Holzhauer doesn't ever mess around. Allegan, Michigan. That's got to be region. Greg, hold your finger up. 2 or 3. Region 2.
2.
Yep. 2. Yep. Perfect. September 11th. Super Farms 4-wheelers. Hot Farms Modifieds. Allegan, Michigan, and then Dragway 42. That's OSTPA, right?
Mm-hmm.
West Salem, Ohio. That's the 14th. Yeah, Saturday, September 14th.
Do they have 2 pulls there? Didn't we promote one for them in the
Yeah,
spring?
we promote all
like
their
that?
pulls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
They have like they sandwich their season with like yeah.
I like, Greg just gave us the drum roll to put them dumb behind us. And
Hey,
then
man.
I'm going to say it just for fun. Nevada. Is it Nevada, Missouri?
Nevada.
I'm just teasing.
Nevada. All the welders just got offended
Why did the welders get offended?
because that's where the Welding Institute is. That's where all the everyone who welds in the Midwest goes down to Nevada, Missouri and learns how to weld or something. I don't know.
I didn't know. Is there a school? Is there a welding school there?
Yeah. I don't know what it's called. I just it's a thing. Like, what are you doing after school? I'm going to Nevada, learn how to weld. All right.
Yeah. Mark Ulmer. Yeah, no, maybe next year.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's Squalls want? Hey, both full pulls on Full Pull app or is a mini hook on YouTube? No, both of them are going to be on the Full Pull app. We're going to have 2 live streams going at one time. All right. And then Diesel's in Dark Corners. November 1st, 1 and 2. So mark that down. That's going to be a big one. And then we're going to talk about MLM later. They got Winnemucca. That's California. Or is that Nevada? Winnemucca?
I think that's California.
So Brian Massetti's going to come on later. They got a pull September 1st this weekend. And then that's a Sousa Memorial truck pull there. Or that's West Coast Diesels. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Brian will talk about all. He's going to come on at 9:30 our time. So without further ado, let's bring on Sir Greg Randall. 2 G's, 2 L's. I looked it up. He even spelled his name right on the bottom of the screen. I'm super happy. Mr. Randall, how are you tonight, sir?
3 Gs.
Good. How are you guys doing?
Well, he's got 2 G's at the end. That's what I
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, 3G. I got egg in my name. I got them all day long.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Greg, I want to talk about the season, what you think so far. We got some tight point races in Grand National. We've been talking about those on Full Pull. super tight. I think we have a tie in light supers. We had our conference call this morning. We're going through all that, so we can really hammer that on Full Pull Live. It's an exciting time of the year for the NTP, actually for all the associations, as we really are on the downhill run here. And you got your Enderley hat on, Greg. So you have 15 minutes, buddy. Go.
15.
Start the
Well,
timer.
yes. In fact, today I got some of the advance tickets to Farmers Equipment in Urbana, which is on the east side of town. Farmer's Daughter Restaurant, no relation, but Farmer's Daughter Restaurant on the west side of town. O'Reilly's has already been selling tickets. Dave Kell Chevrolet got theirs. I did 7 episodes at AP Production Studios with Doc today, the episode 7 through 13 voiceovers, and then went to Springfield, Ohio, and put up some posters, and went back through Mechanicsburg and dropped off the Dave Kell stuff. So I'm kind of tired, to be honest with you. It's been a long day, but a good day, productive day.
Yeah, efficient,
Yeah,
and effective.
So
All
yeah,
right,
the 37th annual Innerly Pull-Offs coming up. Champaign County Fairgrounds, Urbana on Saturday, September 14th. We got a cool thing that's going to happen. We got a couple skydivers with a sponsor flag of Beck's and the American flag, as they're sponsoring a U.S. Army. There's a pair of paratroopers bringing the flags in, so that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah,
I
we're
figured you had the flyover like Bowling Green does, Randall Enderley kind of.
Yeah, we've had a B-17 bomber a few times, and actually the last 3 years we've done it. So,
On purpose?
Yeah, on purpose. Yeah.
I thought maybe you just got lucky and a big plane flew over at the right time.
No bombs were dropped. The guy that flies it, we went to high school together, and we were in each other's wedding. So,
Oh, cool.
kind of neat. Yeah.
Super cool. All right, let's talk about the season. Give me your take on the 2024. Let's talk Grand National tonight. I know there's regional and there's state, but let's spend some time on Grand National. What's your biggest, like if I said, Greg, give me the top 3 things, your takeaways for the Grand National season so far. Surprises. Tell me what's going through your brain.
The tight finish to the Superstock Open class, that was insane. There's 4 vehicles within 1.5 points of each other. That's unbelievable. I don't know if you've ever had a race like that. And the guy who was leading going into the second session finished last, and Jeff Hodem. So that was pretty incredible. It's incredible to see that with 2 hooks with 2-wheel drive left, there's still a bunch of guys vying for not only top 10 but top 5. It could go on its ear Friday and go back the other way on Saturday. So that's going to be quite a race to the finish. It's the pre-entry thing really was a successful addition. It really worked a lot better than we were imagining. We inundated people with calls and texts, which seemed to really help. I know I've got the roster for just names for I think this Friday at Wasion, Friday, Saturday at Canton. I haven't peeked over at it yet, but so we got that and Sandwich, and then that's going to wrap that up for this year. So pleasantly surprised on that. That was a lot of work, a lot of change, but there's been some positives that come out of it for the promoters to know what's coming, how much room they need, tech, all kinds of things,
I think the fans really like it too.
Yeah. I see Dylan Dirks ask, all the classes at Sandwich Thursday pre-register, it's just a super stock diesel that has to. The other classes will have the availability to enter, but they do not have to. I'll give you an example. Toma, we had Super Farm, Light Pro, and Limited Pro, and I think we had like 3, 4, and 4 pre-enter. But if you're in those regional or pro national classes, you can do it when you arrive. The entry closes like it always has in the past.
And we're showing Full Pull Live. Is that from
Wellington.
That's from Wellington last Friday night, the Friday night spectacular.
So, yeah, that was a neat one to commentate. The thing I came away from there was, wow, the door was open for Ken Vini, and he lost a bunch of points.
Yeah, because I think is McDonald up by 12 or so now.
Yeah.
like 12 and a half. And
Okay.
conversely, Brian did everything he had to do.
And he had a late hook too.
Yes, yeah. It was. I think it almost appeared that Ken had almost all four wheels off the ground at one point, going down the center of the track, and a lot of us. I did not see that necessarily coming. I thought it might get tight, change, but to say if you'd asked me that Brian's going to come out with 12 and a half points the way Ken was dominating the state of Ohio, not just this year. He had all wins in a second place before Wellington. You go back to he swept Fort Recovery. He's won Bowling Green in the past couple of years. I mean, his Ohio winning percentage has to be it's got to be above 50%, I would think.
Yeah, but Greg, the way Grant Theobald started off the season, I didn't think anybody was going to touch him either.
Yeah. When we were doing the voiceover today for the Chapel Hill mini show, and I remember I said, hey, he took a win in Farley, he took a win in Hutch, he took a win in Toma, and then as soon as he hit Chapel Hill, it seemed like he had a slide, unfortunately for him, but still a good season. He had a strong start. And it's interesting as I was kind of working some of those broadcasts, and you really start drilling down and seeing the finishes. A lot of people have some pretty good finishes, top 10, top 5. But then you see the other times they finished, and like particularly at Bowling Green that says, finished 25th and 37th in pro stock, then you're wondering, well, that guy's 7th in points. Those two performances there of not staying in the top 10 could mean the difference between 4th place and 8th place.
No, it's incredible.
I like looking back at the Theobalds that you're talking about right there, and I feel like Grant, deservedly so, gets a lot of attention brought to him, and I think the Theobald family has been a big story so far this year, and it makes me think about tipping your cap to Mason. Grant. You hear about Grant quite a bit, but Mason's still kind of busting onto the scene, and for him to walk away to win the ring at Bowling Green, where you have more vehicles in the 2-wheel drive truck class than you do probably any other class at Bowling Green, so you could make the argument to win the ring in that class is one of the most challenging things to do. So it was fun to watch how both brothers have succeeded in their own right this season. That was a fun story for me, kind of keeping up with the NTPA lines, was watching Mason get the ring at Bowling Green.
Yeah, no question. And Theobalds are in a very visible spot in Bowling Green. When you're going from one end of the pit area around to the track and that sort of thing, they're kind of on a side lane there. And they were all smiles pretty much all weekend. They were tickled with, I think, all the performances with Mason, and Doug had great finishes in the Unlimited. I mean, I think he ended up maybe 3rd in points. It's been quite a year, and the mini season isn't over, the 2-wheel drive season isn't over, so there's a lot yet to play out. Maybe it doesn't mean a title in those classes, but will all of them make Enderley? That maybe.
Yeah, that would be neat to watch the family come in with all 4 vehicles potentially pulling at Enderley. And there's been a lot of fun stories at NTPA this year. I think looking back, Adam Kester getting the win at Chapel Hill and in his dad's mini rod at the place, where at the place, and a place where his father was instrumental in bringing mini rods to Chapel Hill anyway. So I think that had been kind of a quiet goal of his. So on the 5-year anniversary, Jason, you were on the mic that night with Full Pull Live, I think, and you said that the track conditions weren't ideal at that point, and yet it was like, the pulling gods kind of reached down and said, "You're taking this one to the big side, buddy."
Yeah, Larry came down as an angel dressed as a jockey, and he got on the back of that mini rod and he whipped Adam's ass all the way down because Adam's fist went up at 225.
Yeah. So we relived that one. We relived that one for the RFD today as well. So after we got done, I told Doc, I said, because we didn't show the first 2 runs where they, changed the sled or whatever they did there.
Yeah, because Adam was first took and went 325-ish, I think, or no.
I don't think he went far. Then Chase was the next test puller.
He turned
his run down and they reset. And then Chase ran, and then he didn't take his pull. But it was interesting because I remember we were talking. I said, the track was changing. You could see it wasn't as mealy on top, and you could see the shine come through. And I said, well, if you can get your front end up, I said, I think that's the ticket. And Chase did it. And Chase, watching that run again today, he would have had first place, he would have overtaken. I'm trying to think who was leading there. I should have looked at some shows today. Was it McDonald? I think.
For sure, Brian had the lead for quite a while.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, he was going to pass. He was going to pass Brian. There's no doubt about it. And then Adam puts another 13 feet on. The next one he got his fronted up and did exactly what Chase had done. So that was really incredible to see. That was a moment. I'll tell you, R.J. Simon winning the Hook and Benson with the Simon Says 4-wheel drive. He was pumped up.
Yeah.
That was the last one. Tim Kaine winning down at Benson. That was pretty memorable. He was pretty pumped up about that win. There's been a lot of great moments and moments to come yet. We were talking about it. We cut an opening for the video board. Doc and I did. And we just talked about, you may not win the championship, but now when you come to Enderley, number one, you might be able to put it on the champion and you really propel yourself into that next season, But unfortunately, Billy Beers had parts problems. He wasn't able to take his unlimited win in Enderley and propel it this year, but there'll be those that do. It'll be very interesting to watch.
Yeah, and watching RJ win the semi class the way he did in Bowling Green, because Brian Eilethorpe he basically what happened to him happened to Hodem. Came in leading it and just had to finish strong, and then RJ I think had to finish 4 or 5 spots ahead of him, and Brian broke the track, broke the truck going down the track, and he hadn't had problems all year long. Greg, that truck has just been running hard.
Yeah, and the fact we already got word Brian will not be in Enderley, so Ben Gordon Letter Rip Tater's chip is trying to get fixed to take in from 6th place.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal. No, it's been a great season. It's been fun with FullPole.live. Greg, you're an awesome announcer. Your knowledge in the booth is great, and all the points breakdowns, the way you have all that stuff in there, it's really. I know the fans really enjoy it. So thank you for jumping in and doing all that announcing with us. So.
It's all about the Shield, making the Shield and bringing the product and getting people interested. And there's a lot of interesting things that go on. And having Kevin Campbell, I told Kevin when we were on, off the camera, I was like, Kevin, you're really good in here. Answering the questions, all the things that I asked him. He really answered very comprehensively, and it lends to some things that we can get more in depth with that you can't really do any other way, and so that's been beneficial.
Yeah, having the pull into the booth has been one of the best things we've done from an announcer side of things this year, Greg, because these are the polling fans' heroes, and they want to hear from their heroes.
Yeah, so. I learned a lot just with the people from Napoleon and Wellington, and I think we may have had a few at Chapel Hill. I know you were in there quite a bit on the first one. And I can't remember if I was in there the whole time or not. I can't recall now, but I think I was. But it's really fascinating to see all those things in the background that to get guys to talk about and be candid about. I was getting some text too, like, wow, there's some good stuff that came out of the discussions from Kevin.
No, it's good. I can't thank you enough for doing that. So I got a couple minutes left with you here. I got Ron Stone back in makeup right now for the Outlaws, Greg. So we got this weekend, we have Wauseon on Friday night, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to decide minis?
Minis and 4-wheel drives.
Okay. And then Mangan's pretty much got her wrapped up.
Mangan looks like he's got it. And I'll be honest with you. I think Brian McDonald, he just, as long as he doesn't do the headline of Harness falters, Hutcherson wins. That was a 1979 Puller Magazine headline where Don Harness lost his Magnetos right after 100 feet. He got last and Hutcherson won, and that's when he won his first Grand National title. As long as you don't have something that dramatic happen to Brian, he just goes A to B. It's going to be hard for him not to win it, right? And I think the same is for Mangan. Now, go to Canton, that 2-wheel drive thing, that's just too many point trucks competing to call it. I mean, if same thing, if somebody, the same scenario you talked about in the Super Stock Open and semi class, if that happens to your leaders, 7th, 8th place could end up in first,
Mm-hmm.
And then Canton, and then we go to Sandwich, right?
Sandwich, yeah. So we have the Super Stock Diesel winner on Friday. And I think there was a little bit of a change, or on Thursday. I think there was a little bit of change there. I think Hazley was leading going into Bowling Green, and I think he relinquished the lead. So with one event, he needs something to happen, sort of like happened in the semi class, potentially. I'd imagine there'll be 9 or 10 trucks there, I would imagine. And then Saturday, that's the killer day. You got your Pro Stocks and the Super Farms and the mods and the Super Stock diesels, tractors. And Colin Ross, again,
Yeah.
I think he thinks the first session, he'd have a point scratch if he had anything really devastating in that first thing. He's just got amassed so many points. But there could be a few jackings in there with the top 10. And then, Super Farm, that's up for grabs. Pro Stock, that's a 2-horse race that I've seen right now. I think Injected Funds opened up to 7 points after Wellington.
Yep.
I was doing the calculation there on Friday night. And Mod Class, I think that too, that's up in the air a little bit. There's been some big comebacks at Sandwich. The track has gotten a lot better. It used to be that it would get better and better. They put some different dirt in there, and that seemed to take care of that. And boy, it's going to be great. I'll try to be watching from home.
Nine points separate your top 3 mods, and with there being 2 session points hooks in one single day, that's going to be a war of you're going to have to win the war, not the battle that day. And Bill Leichner, that's a fun little story too. A man who hasn't always been, who probably hasn't ran in TPA points end to end in quite some time.
Since 98 or 99. 98 or 99. Bill and I talked about this, and this would be his first NTPA Grand National title. So he's looking forward to it. I talked to him a little bit after Bowling Green, and he's looking forward to Sandwich. He's confident he can get the job done. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting fight to the finish in that class, no doubt about it.
That's a stat. I bet a lot of people were surprised when they heard you say that Bill Leichner, in the career he's put together, of course he's been with other associations at various points, but you would have thought surely somewhere in there he'd grabbed an NTPA points championship. So that's a neat little caveat to take away for our fans thinking about this one.
Yeah, he's had a lot of wins at the major events, but he hasn't run from A to B in a long time.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of it. So
good deal. Greg, where are we going to see you this weekend?
I'm going to be at Canton.
All right.
I'm going to be at Canton on Friday and Saturday. And
Kenzie will be out there with Full Pull Live Saturday night. I'm going to go to Wauseon. Allie and I are going to live stream that. And then we're heading down to Canton or East. I don't even know. We're going to Canton. I don't know which way it is.
I can't believe Allie's not going to be in Canton on Friday.
No, but yeah. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. So, yeah. We always know for Dad's in the lead when she's over there in production by her hand signals. So it's all good.
Yeah. I think I've been a good luck charm when I've been in there. I think he's performed well every time I've been in the trailer.
He's had a good season for sure. So
he has had a very good season. Yes. Absolutely.
Well, great. Thanks for coming on. Let's Grow Pulling tonight. We appreciate it. Thank you again for all your help with Full Pull Live this summer, and there's more to come. So have a good night, Greg.
Watch allstarpoll.com. That'll keep you up to date to all the interleague, not only who qualify, but the actual people who accept. So you can keep an eye on that. That'll stay active here up until September 14th.
Awesome. Thanks, Greg.
All right.
Have a good night.
Guys. You too. Bye now.
All right. So now we're going to head out west to be an outlaw.
Yeah.
We're trying to do the Kid Rock song.
That was great.
Do you see what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Well, I'm just saying. Do you think Ron's done in makeup yet, Mike? I mean,
Ron is a man who likes to be well put. I'm on as like a guest tonight. I'm not logged in. I'm on a different computer, so I can't see Ron.
Oh, you can't see him. Gotcha.
No, I can't. So
I'm
I'm like a true guest on here. So
all right. Well, Kenzie's going to play a couple spots, and then we'll bring on the Ron Stone. Go ahead, Kenz.
Angry Duck Graphics has the biggest, baddest merch shop around. Check it out at shopangryduck.com and buy a Remedy shirt while you are there. The Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association is the largest of 3 sanctioned national pulling associations with 16 classes and more than 350 competing vehicles streamed on outlawpulling.tv.
Extreme Performance and Tire Cutting in Rock Valley, Iowa gives their customers the most competitive edge possible. Be supreme. Buy Extreme.
Welcome, Ron Stone, Vice President of the Outlaws.
Hey, guys.
We opened up with Ron Jones, but that's a joke for the MLM Motorsports fans. But we have some Outlaw Pulling TV playing behind us. Where's this from, Kinsey?
Wisner.
Wisner, Nebraska, Thunder by the River. So
Wisner,
You're-
it seems like we were just there, right?
seems like the weather today, Ron, feels like the weather we had in Wisner in 2023. It's hotter.
Oh yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, I was trying to get you guys to give Greg a hard time. You know, he's a big Raiders fan and I'm a Chiefs fan, and that's why I was holding up my Chiefs hat while I was
Shoot.
back.
I should have brought you on. I think he's off now. Dang it. He's not
Yeah,
in the green
he's
room
off.
anymore, is he?
No.
Yeah,
No,
he's
he
off.
wouldn't sound like that. Okay.
No, we have fun with that. Greg's a big Raiders fan, and of course that's a huge rivalry for the Chiefs, and I'm a Chiefs fan. So
But doesn't a rivalry, the other team have to actually compete with them? So
true. Yes, they have to have a team to compete with, and you know, I hope Greg's watching right now. I'm sure
I
he'll
hope so,
get back
too.
to me.
Greg,
Arrowhead
if you want to
West.
jump back on, Greg, just click on that link. You and Ron can battle it out here a little bit. So
You know, Greg is also a musician. We have that in common as well. He's actually a drummer.
That's all the junk said.
Yeah. So
well, Ron, we're bringing on all the, like I said, all the main voices, the main people of the associations. We got John Mears coming on after you to talk about PPL. We just kind of want to bring you on. Let's talk about the Outlaw season. What are the biggest takeaways in your stories? We got Unionville, Buckner, Bedford, Spencer, Lufkin to finish it up. We've crowned some point champs already. I guess, Ron, you're a hell of an announcer. Just take over. Start talking, my man.
yeah, I appreciate that. But I think a big story I think for me this year is how lucky we are with the weather. Yeah, we didn't get lucky first night of Ravenna. That hopefully that wasn't when it happened. Our opening pull first night we got rained out. But from that point on, we didn't get rained out again until the Iowa State Fair. And as many pulls as we have, I mean, we've had 36 to this point, still 5 more to go. We're pretty lucky to have gotten so many pulls in without Mother Nature stepping in and stopping the show. Unfortunately, Iowa State Fair really is the only one that got completely rained out. So, no, it's been a great season. Weather has cooperated. I see some things growing here. I see some things happening in some classes, and I'm pretty excited for the off season. We're getting some new interest from some other pulls, in the Midwest, some places we've never been before, and some places we have been before. And I'm hoping to add, maybe a couple of new ones to the schedule at least for next year.
Nice. Is it true that Mike Idle is buying Otts Allison that's for sale? Did you hear that rumor?
That's what I heard. He was drinking with the neighbor and did not tell his wife.
Wait.
Yes, sir.
You better slow down. You're going to get me in trouble on the internet and in real life.
I guess she's finding out now.
This is
I don't know how much Mike put down on it, but or what kind of deal he worked.
I think it was $500. I think, and he's gonna make monthly. What that Missouri teacher salary? Mike's loaded.
Yeah, it's we reached an installment. We're gonna go for 978 months at 36% interest. So,
Hey,
I mean, I know a guy that does home loans, Mike.
Yeah.
guys, if I could do pulling loans, I'd be rich because I get that question at least once a day. So it's all good. It's all good. Ron, what's been your biggest takeaway or biggest surprise, or just your maybe a top 3 highlights of the Outlaw season to date? Like, because you see all of them. You're up there in that announcer stand, got a sexy voice.
Some things that stand out in my mind. Let's take the mod class. Let's go to the 7400 mod class, for instance. Cameron Neves, been chasing a title for a long time, changes his tires, and boom, the whole combination comes together. Now he's been dominant in the modified tractor class. All it took, he had the chassis, he had the motors, he had the ability to drive the tractor, he had the team, but all it took was changing those tires. And I think Mike will, he'll agree with me that tractor changed, and it just turned on a dime at Bloomfield, Iowa this summer.
Put the whole shots on, and they said they were curious to see, and he what he rattled off, Ron, like 4 or 5 consecutive wins or
Something like that. Yeah.
top,
And
top 2 finishes or something. So,
it's definitely paid off for him. And then something that stood out, and I meant to mention this last week on Outlawed Live, something that stood out from Wisner in recapping that pull. And it's been sticking with me in my mind here is Kent Urban's tractor, the stud mule. If you remember, I think it was Friday night, because he hurt the motor. He bent some push rods Friday night. Didn't come back Saturday night, but he had tried a different cam in those motors. And he was running 37, 38 miles an hour mid-track. And Mike and both looked at each other like, oh my God, they're going to have to shut him down at the other end. And he bent those push rods. And he told me, he said, I think with that cam, I just didn't elongate the push rod openings in the head. But if he gets that figured out and consistently starts coming to some pulls, wow, that thing is going to be. Of course, that's just speaking in one class. The Thorntons, they're up on the screen behind you. I've been saying lately they've monopolized the 4-wheel drive class.
yep.
They're always right there, if not the top.
Did they go top 3 in Madison Saturday night, Ron?
Yeah, they're a tough team to beat. There was some carnage in Madison for sure in the 4-wheel drive class. It was a tricky track for them. But yeah, the Thorntons have been pretty dominant there in the modified 4-wheel drive class this year. And that's Ryan Thornton leading. Ramrod, I think, is second right now in points. The Ritters in third, and then I think the defending points champ Murray Thornton Thumper in 5th in points right now. So they're right there in the top 5 for sure. That's a pretty good shot right there behind you. He really saved that thing there, Wisner.
Mhm.
That truck, they just got this out this year, right?
They had it last year, late last year. They made a test hook with it. They pulled in Bedford last year.
Okay.
Bedford, of course, that pull in September coming up here in a couple of weeks, Bedford, Iowa.
Which Kenzie's getting, we're going to go to Saturday night in Madison, South Dakota. This is, which Christian is it? The dad?
This is
Nick?
Dean. Yeah.
Dean. Okay, Nick's the boy. So you can see here.
Yeah, this was a rough ride, and of course, to watch it in the slow-mo is pretty wild. It looks like the whole thing's coming apart, but
The one before him bounced pretty bad too, and then Ritter's got kind of squirrely also. It looked like that track was claiming some victims that night with that class.
Yeah, it definitely was. Ritter's,
I felt like Rock Valley last year.
2023. Oh yeah,
that
that was
Saturday night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, it's right there at the starting line where they're trying to get it rolling and get in the throttle. And Ritter's, I think they thought it was going to iron out there, and then it smoothed out and then got rough again for them.
Ron, I'll tell you another story that's been kind of fun, and we're keeping on our radar because it's not quite wrapped up yet. Is Brady Gosler looking to pull off the perfect trifecta, with the Outlaws going to multiple points championships, introducing a regional level class, as well as the Holganix Midwest Summer Sweep, which has just been something that's been nothing but positive feedback from every driver you talk to. And Brady, I believe, has already wrapped up and won 2 of those, right? And is leading in the national point standing. So he's looking to go national, regional, and sweep championship series, all 3 of those.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to go there with, something that stands out for the season. That sweep, the Holganix Midwest Summer Sweep, has been phenomenal this year. The added money coming from Holganix Midwest, they doubled the money from last year. Of course, last year they did 5 classes, $25,000. This year they did 11 classes and $50,000. And talking like maybe next year, maybe even a bigger deal.
What kind of money did the sweeps winners get, Ron?
We broke it down to 5, the top 5 placings. And for the most part, Jason, there's 6 to 8 hooks for most classes in the sweep. And it's, I believe it's $1,750 for the winner, broken down into 5 different placings. But that's a sweep within the point series within a point series there. And then, like Mike said, the regional, we know we expect the pullers to hook a lot with the Outlaws. We up over 20 hooks, 24 plus hooks, depending on your class. So we listened, and last year we looked at it, and Kurt said, let's have some regions. The ones that have the most hooks, let's have some regional hooks. They'll have their own point series. They don't have to pay anything additional to get in that region. They're just automatically in. They'll get paid out separate, but it's kind of optional. They don't have to break their machine to go to that region to stay in the national. So I think it worked out good. And Mike said, Brady Gosler about to pull off a trifecta here if he can hang on and fend off Andrew Meister's late season charge here.
Tough one to be fending off, though. That one can win at the drop of a hat, and there's been a lot of hats dropped recently, it feels like, because he's racking up the big finishes.
Yeah, but Brady came out swinging over the weekend. He's not going to go away quietly.
No, but that's one of those fun stories too, because he finished second last year. It was a good heavyweight battle with him and Mark Wiggins going back and forth last year. So you kind of felt like he was due, and it felt like if there was going to be a year, this was his year. And it's fun to watch drivers when they know they're in that position to capitalize on it and have that confidence. And he's kind of built that year for himself.
Yeah, I think another big story, Kyle Karstens, a couple of guys in pro stocks, actually, Kyle Karstens and Greg Jaeger.
Yeah.
And this guy's doing a phenomenal job in that pro stock class this year. The light modifieds doing what they do for the Outlaws. Awesome class. Light modifieds, the variety of power plants and tractors in that class just amazes me, and the fans love it. And that class, when we first started reintroduced that class 4 years ago. We got a handful of hooks, and it wasn't hard to sell. It really wasn't. And folks that were on the fence, to give them a try. Now we're at that point where it's like, we got to tell people, no, you can't have that class. We don't want them hooking 30 plus times a season. So, a lot of good things happening with the Outlaws. It has been a busy season. 5 events left, 3 weekends for us. We take Labor Day weekend off, and then we come back and go to Bedford, Iowa, and then on to Spencer, Iowa, which has traditionally been like the season finale for us. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. We're in Unionville and Buckner after Labor Day weekend, and then Bedford and Spencer. And then we take a few weekends off and then go to Lufkin, Texas, the last weekend of October to finish off the season. That pull, of course, Jason, you went there last year, you and Kinsey, and it gets bigger every single year, and is going to be one of the great ones, I think, for the Outlaws. As long as these guys keep putting that event on, it just keeps growing and gets better and better.
Well, it's cool having a semi-truck drag races and the truck show during the day, and then they top it off with the pulling, and they have a big band at night too. So, yeah, pretty fun.
And they admitted, last year to me, they said, what, we asked the fans, what's your favorite part of this event? And I was kind of surprised by it, literally, because there was so much focus on the drag racing, and they said, hands down, everybody says the truck and tractor. So they said that's where we're going to focus most of our attention to build it and grow it. And that's music to my ears, because I love that event. I think it's a great cause for veterans, and I love seeing it grow.
I like going to Texas in October and not July. So, White Right was really, really warm this year. So we were down there. So
can you say that 5 times real fast, Jason? White Right
was really, really warm. White Right was
White Right
was really, really warm.
Did you say Willy warm?
I did. I did.
You're
Awesome.
Nope.
Well, Ron, thank you for coming on tonight, sir. It was great to have you on. Tomorrow, who are you talking with tomorrow night on Outlawed Live? Who do you got lined up?
I've got nobody lined up just yet. Right now, it's me and this guy named Mike Idle.
Okay.
Ever heard of him?
You could do better, but he works in a pinch. So
last week it was just the two of us, and we talked for damn near 2 hours. So
did you guys hit the go live button? Did you remember to do that?
Yes.
I don't know. That was on. I'm the secondary announcer. That's one of his duties.
Here's my post-it note on my screen, guys. Go live, so I don't ever forget that.
Yeah. You have so many. Kenzie has so many post-it notes she forgets half the things she's supposed to do.
Right now.
So, well, Ron, thanks for coming on tonight. And Unionville, Friday, September 6th, Buckner, September 7th, next up. So enjoy a weekend off, sir. So,
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
cool.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Ron.
See you, Ron.
Ron Stone, the voice of the Outlaws. John Mears. Him and Christy, I think, are like El Presidentes. I'll just say. I like to say it like that. El Presidentes of the Pro Polling League. Nashville, Illinois. I know they have some stuff this weekend as well. I'll let John touch on that, but I wanted to bring them in here and wrap all that up for them this well. It's been a great season for polling. Big crowds everywhere. That's been great to see. So, Kenzie, are you ready?
Yes, I am now.
You got some PPL action ready to rock and roll?
I do.
I'm gonna bring on John Mears. He's out of makeup. All right, good deal. John, you're out of makeup. How are you, buddy?
Oh man, just another Monday night. You know how it goes after a big weekend.
Yeah, it's you want to. I feel like after every weekend, John, I feel like I have mono, and I want to just like crawl into a hole for 7 days, but then you just keep going. So
Yes, the big nap is coming. It's another about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then you take the big hibernation sleep.
the big nap. Well said. Well said. Well, let's talk about the 2024 PPL season, John. What are some maybe your and Christie's big takeaways? Some of your highlights. Just let's talk PPL polling.
Yeah, I think it's the cream that always rises to the top. I mean, you go with Mastersons and Pro Stocks.
Did they really go out of bounds at Shides? Did Tinkertoy go out of bounds?
It did. Foles was driving, and
Okay.
right about
Okay, shout out to Derek
250 when he kind of went to the sideline. It hooked and the pan dropped, and then the front end was in the air, and it was hitting everybody about the same spot, of course. And they were trying to chase that sideline where it's very valuable at Shides, so, and the Wagler Motorsport Park. So yeah, it went out of bounds, and then we go on from there. But they've had doesn't matter who drives that tractor, it goes well, very well.
It's propolling.tv, right? Is your website for the lives?
Yep.
Okay. I'll put that up.
Propolling.tv. Yep.
Cool. And then your next event for that will be what, John? You're streaming next. Do you know off the top of your head?
It'd be Nashville, Illinois, with Mr. Brad.
Mr. Brad. He's down at the Ozarks right now enjoying the big shootouts, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, he said something about racing boats or taking a little joyride on the boat, a little slow ride, I guess.
yeah, his slow rides are about 120, John. So
Yeah.
they do the boogie woogie.
Yeah, that's for sure. But and then you get, you take on the Pro Stocks, and then the mods, of course, the Simon family always have top-notch equipment every time they come to the track. So they've done very well. Super Farm was kind of a new guy to the Champions Tour circuit, Brad Woods, who never finished out of the top 5, if I'm not mistaken, all season long.
Thunderstruck, right, John?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
From like
And he's-
Tennessee or Kentucky. He's from the South,
Yeah.
I think.
Jackson,
Mid-South,
Tennessee.
Yes. Okay.
Mid-South puller, so he's done very well, and he just always had a very lucky draw. Sometimes you got to be first when it counts, and you got to be last, and that's the way it goes. And then I think the Shad Diesel truck wrapped it up on the Superstock Diesel Series. So over the weekend, one of my other big takeaways is I think Miles framed this on a post that he had is, Van Hazley is the godfather or grandfather of diesel
Yeah.
truck racing. And his grandson Trip made a hot lap, and then drove in competition, which was spectacular. Did a fantastic job driving. And then Kent and Debbie's son, Caleb, took it for a spin on Saturday night and did a heck of a job driving. It's always great to see the dads, because I was in that position as well when dad's like giving you the last coaching statement. You need to come out at 4,000 RPM and ride the clutch and do something of that sort. And hearing that just constant coaching from guys like Kent and, of course, Van coaching up Trip, his grandson, was really, really cool to see.
Yeah, I'm going to put this on the screen and I'll read it to you. I'm glad you brought that up because I saw that the other day. Which one is that you're showing?
This is Terre Haute.
Terre Haute. Okay.
Mhm.
That's last weekend.
Oh, this is back in July.
Back in July.
Okay. So that's just the Wagler one then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because Shides used to be in Terre Haute, right, John? And then
Right.
the cops ran him out of town, pretty much all the kids.
Yeah, they didn't care for all the money that came into the town. The like $2.3 million that came to town, they kind of just pushed it out. So
They should have been like Bowling Green and just built a campground and put concertina wire around them, John, and just caged them all in. So
yeah, I mean, there was years Homeland Security was there for 3 or 4 years. I mean, on site.
that's
One day,
awesome. Here's the post that John's talking about. So Miles, he words things amazingly. I've always referred to Van Hazley as the godfather of the diesel superstock class, but today he was a grandfather. The watchful eye of a grandfather beaming with pride as the next generation of puller straps in the beloved rock hard Ram. A final word and a bit of confidence for a young man born to do this. Pretty flawless attempt for Tripped as he made his way down the track for the first time. So pretty neat. That kind of gives you goosebumps a little bit, John. I'm not gonna lie. So
Well, we got to face it. We're all getting older.
yep.
And these young whippersnappers are the next the line of offense for everyone. So really neat to see. And then I think this weekend we're in Mexico, Missouri. The Western Series and the Champions Tour modified four drives are going to wrap up.
Hagendorns have the lead, right?
I think Hagedorn just has to hook to the sled, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't do any checks of that yet. That's usually a Tuesday or Wednesday project, but
Sure.
I know when we were in McLeod, he said, I would like to get it to where I can just be comfortable at the last hook, and that's what everybody.
Terry's got a 24-point lead right now over the Renegade pickup. So.
And John, PPL's 50, 48, 46 down to 25, right?
Yeah. 13th place is 26. So, unless he goes out of bounds or for some reason, like the truck doesn't start or whatever, there would be some excitement, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, I would say Simon's the mod. I'm trying to think like the national storylines. Mastersons are such a big ticket right now, John. Anywhere they go, they draw amazing.
Jeff Hurt and his mini rod. It looks like he's got a pretty big points lead in that one. So that's a hand in a glove. Once he bought that, he's been there's been no looking back really. Once Jeff Hurt grabbed a mini rod.
But you're right, Jason. The Mastersons are top-notch family, top-notch competitors, and then as Mike said that Hurt is a hell of a driver. I think he could drive a go-kart to a top fuel dragster to whatever it is. He's going to get in it and make laps. I mean, I would challenge him up against probably Terry or Josh Blackburn of driving the most different vehicles on the circuit, because I think he drove Diekman's Allison once and he drove the Bargie's Jet once, and I think he's drove a two-wheeler a time or two if I'm not mistaken. So
No, that would be, I don't disagree with you one bit at all. Like you said, he took to a hand to a glove with the minis, and he's so supportive. He helps all of his competitors if anything's ever happened, and he's the first one to jump in. And like he always said, if I want to beat you, but I want to beat you on the track. I want you to get on the track and do the best you can with all that. So
I got to tell a little story real quick. Shelbyville, Kentucky, 2 Saturdays ago, Sean Ostritter was in the top 3 in our diesel truck class. And this is just the epitome of pulling, period. I don't care where you're at, where you're pulling at, but this is what pulling's about. He goes about 50 feet, turbo pops, of course. We've seen this many a times across a lot of divisions. Evan Davis and Adam Hallion and the Laux boys are like, hey, if we get him a turbo, can he come back and make another second shot at it? I'm like, well, he didn't go 100 feet, and there was 25 or 30 trucks. And so they go back, and they're like, hey, we're going to put another turbo on it. So they took off one of the Laux trucks, hot. They're back there thrashing. CW Cartmill's thrashing. I'm back there making sure the air flaps on, and it works and engages. And if he doesn't come back and make a winning lap as the last truck of the night.
that's awesome.
I mean,
that's awesome.
They said, I don't want to get beat behind the scenes. I want to get beat on the track. And sure enough, he was in the points. I think he was second or third. And then he ran into some mechanical problems here at Scheid, and he had to bump the sled in 2-wheel drive. But that's what pulling is. And Jeff Hurt's the same way, absolutely. And then, then his Super's been making some awesome laps. That thing is just dialed in. Him and Hodem have been battling it out. So looking forward to seeing what that happens at Route 42 Dragway in September.
So what points champions have you crowned? Have you crowned any yet, John, or is it still
to be
determined?
Chris Wood in Class Act,
That's
Simon
right.
in the mud. Two-wheel drive was the old corn burner that was coming down. It was tied going into Saturday night of Hillsboro, and
Okay.
whoever won was going to be the winner. And Jason Sullivan got around Jared Nelson to wrap that one up. So, and then like we said, Brad Woods got the Super Farm, knocking Josh Miley off. And
Yeah, that's the first time in a while.
3 or 4
'Cause I
years.
think- Yeah, I was gonna say at least 3. So
And light supers was Martin Daniel. And
Oh.
you know, you hate to talk about bad luck sometimes, but at Hillsboro when the Temptation tractor broke a
Yeah.
differential and a planetary, and it went left fast. And I remember that happened at Wheatland 4 or 5 years ago, down to the points championship, and just they just bad luck all over that team, unfortunately. So, but Martin Daniel came out with the victory.
rules changes over the winter. The was that right before Louisville, John, or was that before the Mack trailer deal where he had to put the big cage or whatever on the big Chargers? What was that? What do you call that?
The apple slicer.
Yeah, the apple slicer.
We're going to start calling it the pumpkin slicer here now, since we're getting
Yeah.
into the fall season. But
Right. Oh, I like it. It's like a pumpkin latte. Way to go, John. I like that.
yeah. Starbucks, make sure you hit me up for that one.
Right
But
there.
yeah, that's been a big help. And then having the bags over everything has saved a lot of stuff.
Yep.
We've been knocking on wood that everything's working there. So. And then, one thing that we didn't think about was we were in the 3.0 qualifying class, and a 3.0 truck split the block in half.
A 3.0 did?
A 3.0 Kong, of course,
Oh.
the boys from Texas.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
mean, it destroyed the hood, destroyed the windshield. I mean, it broke both cables, but everything did its job. I mean, it didn't go on the ground or anything or on the track, but there was, I think, 6 push rods that could have been used that we picked up, reused.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've had
The Light Pro for Light Pro, the Light Pro component. I was announcing in Mendon, Illinois, when I saw Ernie drive the Gopher for the first time. So I got to witness history,
Oh,
and I got to be on the mic. So that was kind of accidental.
you drove in Highland too.
He was up in Highland this past weekend with Badger State. I feel like that is one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time for that class, John. I love it. I love it. I think there's more to come. So
well, I think it's just, again, we all have seen it. That parts are a little harder to get. Things are on backup still. There's still a wait list for things. But, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see another 2 or 3 Light Pros here in October that are components, just get the bugs worked out. It takes, it's easy to get the chassis and the sheet metal. It's the hard part is doing all that wiring and the paint and the little things is the stuff that kicks everybody's butt. That takes days, weeks, not just, it may be months for some guys. Yeah.
good deal. Good deal. What other questions do we have? We're going to go through tonight. Let's talk about points, upcoming polls. So Mexico. Somebody asked, are you going to be in Mexico? Dylan Dirks wants to know, will you be in Mexico this weekend, John?
Oh, there's probably a good chance I'll be there. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. We'll
There's
hit Mexico on Saturday night, and then we'll be to the track at the Holzhauer's Auto Mall, I believe is the correct Britannica Encyclopedia call for that joint, and
Yep.
do that. For
I like
a
to
couple
call
of
it the home of the Pullers Championships, John, but I'm kind of
home of
partial.
World
Yes.
Championships. Home of a lot of things. You know what I mean?
It is.
Like
Yeah.
there's cars, there's trucks, there's
Boats.
Sea-Doos, you name it. And we've got pro stocks and mini rods are going to be there. And I think the light limited super stock class, I know he's got some extra dollars in on that thing.
Yeah,
and,
here, John, I got an overlay because we're promoting that for him. Let's see here. Right here, we can talk about this, but I know he wanted me to touch on this tonight. So
yeah, the 5.0 Pro shootout. And
so every class he's going to add $4,000 to it if 15 or more in the class.
Yep.
And then he's doing an extra $3,000 for the combined winner between the 2 nights of the 5.0 Pro Stock Shootout. So I know they had. I think he's got a good chance to get 15. I don't know if ITPA has a hook. I don't think they do, John, and I think he can pick off some of those guys. I know he wanted to get Couches up, and some of those guys to come over as well or come up if you know what I mean. So
well, I think at Pickneyville, didn't they have like 12
15?
or 13. Did they have 15? I remember it was
Let me check.
healthy
the
double
text
digits.
messages.
Canes were there. Canes had sent a message to me about coming to Nashville. I'm sure couches will come up if they're not in the cotton field already. And I'm sure Balsamas will be over, I would think.
Yep. And then you got Begeman.
Yep. That's not a far
Um,
trip for him.
That weekend.
And I don't think NTPA region has any. So I think he can get some.
I would
So-
think Richard Warren ought to come out of Missouri over to that show since it's in Rodney's backyard.
Yeah, he had 15. He had 15 in Pinckneyville. You were right. And he
Was
picked up
that-
Parkers out of Ohio. Yep. So because they have 2.
Oh, and lawyers were down, weren't they? Mark,
I'm
was he
reading-
over there?
I'm reading through the results right now. The one that Brad sent me on Friday, August 16th, because I would have been in BG. I'm trying to think.
Jacob Olas, is it $4,000 each night or is it combined?
It's combined, I think. Let me text those out real quick. Is the $4,000 for each night, or is it for the weekend for your poll in September? I don't know how fast he'll answer tonight or not, but we'll see.
Yeah. But I like what they're doing. That's a good way to boost numbers, and that's a good way to dangle something late in the year. Because late in the year, drivers might start saying, I'm out of points or whatever, and we'll punt, try again next year. This gives an extra incentive to keep people come out and keep things rocking and rolling.
Sure Fight, he's watching. He might know the answer to this. Brent, if you know the answer to that, please throw it in the comments. So,
And what's the other class we've got there? It's light limited, it's 5.0s.
big pros, 5.0s, 4.1s, probably have 85s, right?
I don't see how there cannot be a pull there and not have 85.
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay, Brent thinks it's combined. Here's the poster for the event here. Do you want to keep it on the screen, Kenzie?
5.0 Pro Stocks, 95 4.1s, 85s, Pro Stocks, and mini rods. Yeah, so all tractors, all 24/5 tires, and mini rods.
Yeah. Pro Stock family. You got the Pro
I
Stock
would
family
think
and the noise.
Mini rods should be a hell of a mini rod show.
Oh yeah.
John, I really feel like they're going to pick off. I know Kester's were talking about coming, and I think Chase was talking about coming, and some other minis like that because they don't have anything going on because it's just sandwich for Grand Narratives. Yeah. So, do Mastersons, does he kind of have it locked up for points, or is it a dogfight at all, John?
I think the fight is between Wagler, Justin Wagler, and River Rat is where the real like pit jockeying is at. I know there's been some friendly conversations between Team Masterson and Justin. Who can score enough points to slide into second place.
Well
I think
said.
it's just little friendly conversations, if you will.
No, I'm with you. And then mini rods, we said Jeff's probably got that locked up.
He needs to make 2 good laps there, and then I
Okay.
think going into the final event at Dragway 42, he would probably have it wrapped up. Yes.
I
But
forgot about that.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the next weekend after that on the 14th
14th. Yep.
up there at Kyle's joint.
And then the 4.1s are going to be that's Silver Series, right?
Yes.
And that
Yep.
is that Adrian? Who's got the lead?
No, that should be Workman, I believe.
Sean? No, Sean's got
Yeah.
5.0.
Jared
No,
Wortman and the
Oh,
Goliath.
Workman. I thought you meant Sean Work. I'm sorry, guys.
Yep.
He's got a 5.0.
That's
now.
fairly close though. 18 points, around 18 points unofficially, separating first and second in that class right now.
Well, 10 spots would be 20
Yeah,
points.
Warman's got it.
Who's that?
Warman's in first right now.
Okay, you want to throw it up
No.
on the screen? Do a screen share. We'll throw that up there. I'll make this.
And we've got to remember, I've got to remember this is on a 50-point scale. So what
Right.
to my quick glance looks like a mega lead might not, because at first I was like, oh, Jeff Hurt's up by like 68 points, but with 3 events to go, that's 150 to play with right there. So we're not going on a 30 or a 28 scale. We're going on a 50-point scale.
So does that end in Nashville, John? The 4.1s?
I believe so. If she slides over to the right, you'll.
Okay.
I don't think they go to Cape Girardeau on the 13th.
I had her
Yeah.
zoom in on it, so let's see.
Sure. Oh, we don't have the Lions put up yet. But yeah, it'll wrap up in Nashville.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Pruitt light limited supers are still running there, and that's a really good. I would think, John, with the Nashville geography, not too far from Kentucky, I would think we could pick up some light limiteds, don't you think, for Brad?
Well, that was the comment that was made while we were at the Shelbyville event. I had 3 or 4 guys ask, "Hey, do the rules match up for us?" Yeah, man, come on over. They said, "Well, we'd like to come over there and dabble it up." They liked what he did on, where the purse is at. So, and yeah, geographically, it's 3 or 4 hours for those guys, 3 or 4 hours from Missouri's guys. It'll be a real good mix up between the 2 groups, I think.
Banquet time. Where's your banquet at this year, John, for PPL?
Louisville somewhere. I don't know. That's not my department. I just know the 17th is one, and I think the 23rd is the Western Series at Boonville again. So
Okay.
I think we're
The
at
casino there?
Yeah, the casino, but where we were at last year is where we're at this year for the PPL banquet.
Okay. Eric Pruitt says several coming from the Mid-South group. Good. That'll be fun.
Yeah. I think they're all wrapped up down there pretty close to it, so it should jive well. So yeah. And then we've I just saw Leslie run around. She's been in the studio tonight doing shows for CBS. So we've had that. That'll kick off on whenever the Sunday, September the 9th. I think we start with CBS on those folks, and we've been on MAP TV for the last 4 Sundays, I guess, and we're 13 into that. So Sundays at 6.
CBS, that'll be which events you're going to have on there? Always Hillsborough, right?
Shipshewana, they voiced Shipshewana tonight, or 2 of them. We're going to mix in some Goshen. I don't know what the other shows. They were just trying to, maybe a couple of the Henry stuff that doesn't get on MAV will go that direction. So we're mixing and matching on what we've got.
Hard chargers, maybe some newer, like you mentioned, Brad Woods and Super Farm. Anybody that maybe didn't win a points race, but again is going to finish in the top 5. That anybody jump out at you, John? There.
The Fritz boys, the Twisted Deer. This is their 2nd year on the circuit, and I think they finished 2nd in the points race.
Okay.
They were strong runners. Man, what I really want to see was Walsh's not tear up as many starters on their turbines, because I think they're onto something. But those are close.
Those are neat, John. Those are neat to see them run, because they add, in such a Hemi world, if you will, on the big mods, and it's fun to mix it up. That's one thing I really enjoy watching, like European pulling, all the different combinations, and that's just been fun to see. I think Bargie's, I feel like the last couple weeks had some good success with the is it the old Judge, the new turbo, I forget what their new generation something, and
new generation. The Judge New Generation, but they picked up the win on not Derek. Galen rode it to the victory on Saturday night at Hillsborough. So
yep.
You can always count on that. Like I told a couple people, is the turbines always get a couple of wins every year. You just got to, the stars align and they get up in there and they'll take the teddy bear home on occasion. So, and that was their night to do it.
When's the last time John Mears has driven something down the pulling track?
98, Galax, Virginia.
Wow.
Your super stock, right?
I mean, other than like test dragging the sled, that was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Well, cool. Did we hit everything tonight, John, you wanted to touch on?
Yep. I think we're good. We're just going to wrap up this season, hit Mexico, like we said. Mexico, Missouri. We're not going to Mexico.
Right. Yeah. I say everybody needs their passports. So
yeah. Do that, and then the track at Holzhauer's, and then Route 42, and then we see where we go from there. Got a couple shows, like I said, the national show will be on propulling.tv, and then we'll start wrapping up. I think there's some events down in North Carolina. We might go down and see our Carolina Puller group, because they've got some extra stuff down there in October, and we go from there. I think we only had like 285 or 288 events under the umbrella this year.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not, you need more, John. You need about 590. So You don't even know what day. You don't even know what day it is anymore. But let's be honest.
No.
So,
No, I'm telling you, I'm waiting for that big hibernation nap, like here in a couple, 2 or 3 weeks, where you don't have to.
no, when I called you this afternoon, you were like, I'm doing paperwork. That means it's Monday. And I said, well, I need you on about 9:45 tonight, your time zone. You're like, oh, I think I'll be wrapped up by then. And I'm like, holy shit. I hope so.
Yeah. So it's been fun. And then just this dang heat's going to kick everybody's butt this week. I'm afraid that 100-degree stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about that. Hopefully, some breezes will come through for all the pulling this weekend, no matter where it's at. Nobody wants to sit out when it's 100 degrees.
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, John Mears, Pro Pulling League, thank you, sir, for coming on tonight. And we'll see you down the road.
Yes, sir. Be safe. Rubber side down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Good luck the rest of the year.
John Mears, PPL, everybody. We covered them. We covered the big three: NTPA, Greg Randall, Ron Stone, Outlaws, John Mears, PPL. You get so busy with you forget there's so many different associations going on, Mike. I'm super guilty of that. And if it doesn't pop up on my Facebook feed or my Instagram feed or my TikTok feed, it's hard to keep up with all of it. So involved with Badger State, for the first part of my pulling career with my own tractor, I was on the board and did all that. And being on the board isn't fun. You learn things about pullers that you're like, oh, I thought that guy was a nice guy, or I thought she was a nice lady. Nope, they're not. And but everybody's got an opinion. And it's fun to go with all of that.
There are so many stories to break down and so many ways to sink your teeth into it anymore with the social media, with the live streams, with Full Pull doing what they're doing, that you lose track. It's almost a great problem to have. Jason, that's almost, here at Beer Money Pulling Team, kind of our mission, because I'm sitting here saying like, man, when was the last time I went to the PPL website and just did a quick look over of points and everything? Because, if you're in the pulling world, you try to stay versed on everything that's happening. Yep. But it's a lot, and there's a lot of great stories breaking down this year. That tells me the sport is in a good spot right now. If three organizations, all of them have that much to talk about, that's a good problem to have for the world of pulling.
Well, and we need this many associations because, you can't have, not everybody wants to run, be gone for 10 days at a time. Not everybody can do that. You look at Badger State, they're averaging 12 pro stocks, 12 badass pro stocks. They got the Louisville winner and they're Jason Round. Yeah. Okay. Elsing got second up in Hillsboro. I mean, they got some tough pros, but those guys get to go home every night, Mike, and they've committed to that, and I know there's other, my roots are from Badger State. So that's obviously, I talk about them a lot because I know a ton about them, very familiar with them, but it's been fun to kind of see all that come together with everybody. They had Highland, Wisconsin. So yeah, Wellington, Ohio. They had a great time Friday night. Yeah, it's been fun. I've spent more time in Ohio this past summer, and I didn't even know Ohio's a pretty cool state. I mean, the crowds are just, these county fairs, Mike, these crowds are gigantic.
Yeah. Well, Ohio is tractor pulling mecca. I mean, that is if you picked one state that equaled tractor pulling, I would pick Ohio. That place is, you can't throw a rock out there without it landing on a pull or a pulling vehicle. So
yep.
It's a loaded pulling area.
So I want to go into fullpullpicks.com. Mm-hmm. And we can say bet on this show all that we want. I don't have to say like cash picks. I can say we bet money.
Head-to-head wagering competition games.
Yeah, no, we can say picks and bets on this one all we want. So when I'm on Full Pull, I can't say that. No, it's all good. It's all good. Kenzie and I made some picks on the way to Madison, South Dakota. She said to me, I hope I do better than Mike did.
I didn't make any picks for South Dakota. My last picks were at Bowling Green, and there's a dark horse light super stock that I am in love with. And this guy, when he hits, he's going to hit me some big time money, but I need him to be there. And if he's not there, I lose a lot of money. Brian Bowles, man, I pick him so many times, and I've not hit the cash big, but I'm going to, because that's one of those bullet tractors that when it
I bet on Bulls this year too. I ain't messing around. I think that thing's strong.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't at Bowling Green. I didn't bet. I didn't pick. I didn't wager. How many synonyms can we use?
We can use whatever we want. We're not on Full Pull.
I know, but now it's like a thing. I'm trying to figure out how many ways we can say this. I did not
bets,
interact. with the website for Madison, South Dakota. Kenzie, how'd you do? Did you walk away victorious?
I got Weisenkamp.
We got Super Farms.
Way to go out on a ledge. Risky pick.
If Mike Masonbridge drove, I think we would have got him too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who drove Mike's tractor inches matter?
Some Mike Golda guy.
Oh, Mike Golda. He used to have a 1206.
Okay.
He pulled in that 85 class as well.
Okay.
All right. I'm trying to find the one.
They would have played.
What's the one that puts us at the bottom, Kenzie?
Which
tab is that?
Open it and then scroll.
Scroll
right
there. That one. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I want. Okay.
Mhm.
Mike, so I got I had $160 in my account, Mike, before the
You
weekend.
got $66.74.
Yeah,
I
so
see
it
now.
wasn't awesome,
No.
but it wasn't terrible either. So what's fun about this? You go to the leaderboard.
There's probably.
I don't think we have anything up for this. We do. We have stuff up already for this weekend. Awesome.
Oh, nice.
So mini rods from Wasion, Ohio, 4-wheel drives, pro stocks, 2-wheelers from Canton, light supers and mini rods up so far. We had our first Badger State ones up over the weekend. We did limited pros. We had Outlaws. We had stuff from Shides. There was a lot. We had a bunch of games up over the weekend, so it was pretty fun. I'm gonna go to the leaderboard, see how I did here. So let's go through. So Waiawega mini rods session 1. I won $0. Mikey Wright SS picked Fallout and Shaken Trauma. So we picked Fallout and Aftermath, and they let us down. Then we also picked Little Disaster and Shaken Shame. So, but that's okay. So Mikey Wright won $48 on a $15 wager. Way to go, Mikey.
Good job.
It's fun to go. I love looking at the leaderboard to see how people did.
I
Super
forget
Farm-
about this part of it. I forget that you can do this.
Yep. So Kenzie and I picked so our winner was Someday and Really Buck. We bet $5, we won 36. Way to go, Kenzie. Boom! Making money, Mike. So
You bet $5 on Weisenkamp and it paid out 36.
well, it was a head-to-head. So we also had to pick. Remember, they have the head-to-heads where we had to pick who will do the best out of the groups. Or this was 2 out of 3.
This was 2, yeah.
So,
I just can't believe the odds. I mean, he's leading the class in points. You'd think that'd be like
it
a
must have been
1-to-1
really
bet.
Buck. It must have been really Buck moved around a little bit. I think a lot of people had money on Red Rock.
That's fair. That's fair. That's a tough class to bet on. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of good. iron class.
Pro stock diesel trucks and it shides. We suck. Kenzie.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, you know already. Somebody won $305. Sweet. I like that a lot. Cowboy Puller. Cowboy Puller bets a lot. I always see his name up there. So he put $18 down on Penn Farms and Shide Diesel and won $305 on an $18 bet. Mike, how cool is that?
That's Matt Penn out of Northeast Missouri. I want to say that's a dark horse in that class. So that is a fun little pick.
And then Crane Guy, there was 6 winners in the 3-6 Pro Stocks. Is that your phone, Mike?
Yep.
Okay. Light Limited Pros, Madison, South Dakota with the Outlaws. You won 0. Us. That was us, Kenzie.
Yeah.
We picked Spare Time and Forever Green, and we picked Dirt Summering Demonstrator and Forever Green. We went Forever Green twice. And the big winner there would have been Spare Time.
Yeah.
There you go. He did Spare Time and Inches Back. We don't know if that's Brady or somebody with their name Spare Time, but they bet $20 and they won 108. And that was a head-to-head, right? Yeah, all the Outlaw ones were head-to-heads. So that's fun. Oh, I clicked on the wrong button here.
I like going through the leaderboards and trying to see how many of these people do I know and recognize. Can I identify anyone who I feel is playing out here?
Pro Stock chapters in Lyons, Indiana. Wesley G won $82. Bet 20 and won $82. So $62 profit margin on that. I like it.
That is pretty good, especially for his 2 picks. I'm liking these payouts. These are.
Hey,
well,
the more the merrier.
They're picking
Superstock Diesel Trucks, Lyons, Indiana. Kenzie and I we got skunked. One winner, Cowboy Puller, won $93.50 on a $30 bet. So $60 profit. Picked Shide Diesel and Cream of the Crop. So good to go there.
Cowboy Puller is an active participant. Can you click on his profile? Does it like what happens?
It looks like it's
It's
like the
Jagger.
Bad Habit. Looks like the Bad Habit Super Farm.
Oh, I thought it was the Wampus Cat.
Nope, it looks like it's got skinnier tires.
Mm.
I think somebody might know. Try to keep their identities hidden from us.
And of
Light
course,
Super
you
Stock
could
Ag,
use-
Madison, South Dakota. Boom! We won $23.45, Kenzie.
Ooh.
What
Oh,
did we
you
do?
doubled down on Schluters. You went with the double Schluter pick.
Did we do Schluters? We did. No, we won on Ulmer and Schluter. Yep.
Either
Oh,
way.
and then we
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Because they went 1 and 2.
And then we did a Schluter Ulmer. We did it. We bet on them twice. What the heck?
You did it.
That's
You
what
just
happens
told me
when
which one to
I'm
pick.
driving. Yeah,
I was driving.
you were driving, Kenzie. So that was not a big money maker because they were favorites, but that's still fun. It's still fun.
Hey, Mike, there was at least 10,000 people in Madison.
I was watching the replay and I didn't quite have it at 10,000, but you were north of 7 easy.
Oh, yeah. No, it was packed there.
No, they said 6,500.
Yeah, no, I just mean.
No, I know it's a little joke that we do all the
Yeah.
time. But Kevin Davis says he won Super Farm and Light Super Ag and Mod Trucks. Way to go, Kevin Davis, the promoter
No,
of Wayne, Nebraska.
The atmosphere at Madison looks absolute fire. I mean, that place.
The crowd is fun,
Mhm.
Mike.
Yeah.
They are fun.
That
Yeah, they're
looks like
actually
a good one.
Whoever ran the starting line camera there got a really bunch of good camera angles. I don't know if you guys if you watched that Outlaw Pulling Guy.
I saw a lot of close up on green and red paint.
Yeah, that's because Mike, that screen's like 6 inches from my eyes. Mackenzie's like, zoom out. I'm like, I'm trying.
I like
ahead.
the right down the barrel camera you guys had at the end of the track, looking instead of having like the off to the side, the one that just straight down Broadway. I liked that. Of course, Kenzie's been asking me all year long to put one of those up, and I'd be like, no one would like that angle. And so the time she does it, I'm like,
He
that's a
doesn't get
great angle.
to decide these things.
I asked
You get
for
to decide.
his perspective.
Yeah, okay.
That was a cool perspective, Kenzie. You should have done that sooner.
Pro Stocks Highland, Wisconsin. No, it's a cool shot.
Yeah,
We've been
is.
using it with
You
full
get it.
pull. We've been using it full pull.live as well. It's fun. But don't do it every shot because
Yeah.
I got yelled at in Chapel Hill because I wanted the super stock diesels.
Oh, yeah.
The smoke, man, all the comments on Facebook people, they were just ripping on me. I call them they, the ones that rip
They.
on me. So it's all good. Brad Holzhauer says each night for the $4,000.
Ooh.
Ooh.
There you go, Jake.
The
Well,
boss.
Jacob's not going because he's got a point. So.
Pro Stocks, Highland, Wisconsin. Running Red 43 won $79. We had three $79 winners. $5 won them $80. Mike, that's fun. That's what's fun about it. It's like you don't have to bet the farm. Bet $5-10. I mean, you don't. It's cheaper than 15 in a class minimum to get. Okay, Brad.
Yeah, but
knows
one of these days, someone is going to bet the farm, and it is going to hit, and it's going to blow the roof off this whole thing, and then it's just going to be just moving and grooving. That's what I'm waiting for. Some bachelor party with a bunch of, you know what I'm saying, and a bunch of guys get around together, and they all are like, I got $200 on, whoever, and I want to see that happen, because then when we get on here and they're like, oh my gosh, this guy won whatever, all of a sudden everybody's going to be doing it.
Nobody hit on the 4 ones in Highland. Kenzie, who did we pick? We picked G-Force and Well Spent, and we picked Dig and Deer and Well Spent.
Yeah, Johnny didn't do so hot.
Who running Nick
Nick
Gallitz won, and who was second? Was Tony second?
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was tight. I know we talked about this on the way home.
Yeah, and I looked at it too. Hang on.
5-0 Pro Stock combo like GPC. Okay, yeah. So if you're looking to do that, next week we'll have what? Ken Summers on
Mhm.
Unionville. We're talking about more here.
Yeah,
Mercedes,
Tony did get second.
Tony got second. So if we would have picked
Speaking of the guy.
Gallitz, Mercedes in makeup,
Yeah.
Mercedes in makeup. I think you actually love Mercedes Idol. I think you do.
Do you think what'd you say?
I think you
What?
love him. Like I think you like he's your boy. Like Major League Motorsports. I think you like saying that.
He's a freaking gangster, dude. He is, man. You ever see the pictures that he loads up his trailer? He's got an open flatbed trailer with a 2-engine mod and like buku trucks off the back, and then he like puts a Dr. Dre song or something over the top of it. I mean, it's freaking cool, dude.
It's California.
Man,
Dude, I'm telling you, man. It's too cool for school, man.
Do you think Kevin Davis is Cowboy Puller?
Who did he say he won on?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Which name of those would be his? It's not Tammy Hennig.
No.
KG 1958. Oh, that's
Kevin
him.
something
Kevin
Davis,
Davis.
1958 money.
Yeah.
I like the $ at the end too.
He's like, no.
Kevin Davis money.
Kevin bet 5 smokes and won $650. Picking back draft. The 4-wheel drive trucks, no Thorntons have been so tough. Ron touched on that.
Who's got the best? Scroll through here and find who has the best. What do you call it? Stage name or username or whatever. Who's got our
The stage, those are strippers, Mike. Stage names.
well, whatever.
Oh, hey, we won Unlimiteds in session 1 in Wellington.
Oh, cool.
Sweet.
Stuff and whatnot. That's a good one.
Stuff and whatnot's good. Big Willie 68. That's a good name. That's a good stage name.
68.
69 was probably taken.
69. Tratter 69.
Trash.
Tratter 69. That's
Is
a
that
good one.
Chandler?
It might be. Bacon Hauler Express. That's a good one. Red Tractor 454.
At AOL. I like that they throw that. We're using our AOL still.
I still have a Schultz Jason at hotmail.com. I just don't use it anymore.
Oh, that's
I just don't use it anymore. Well, let's Kenzie, you want to play a couple things, a transition, so we can bring Massetti on? Is that cool? Next up, Brian Massetti, owner of MLM, Major League Motorsports California. Got a couple big events coming up. We're going to touch on the GSI 3 Golden State Invitational. They're having it on my birthday. We're going to be gambling out there. We're going to be live streaming on fullpull.live. We're going to put a big spotlight on the state of California and the West Coast polling. So, Kenzie, transition time?
GMS Manufacturing and Machine. Helping you build a superior foundation with top quality parts and service. Give Brent a call today.
Coal Train Energy is American-made energy and Midwest based in Syracuse, Missouri. Free shipping is available at coaltrainenergy.com. Check out their new flavors online.
Heavy diesel rebuilds and machine work is High Plains Performance's specialty. Their team of qualified and experienced professionals are at the top of their industry. Contact Doug for a quote today.
The world's #1 racing and performance marketplace. Cars, parts, antiques, trailers, and so much more. RacingJunk.com.
Brian Massetti, welcome to Let's Grow Pulling.
Hello, everybody.
7:30 Pacific Standard Time. How's the weather? It's hotter than holy hell here. Brian. What's it like in California?
How hot is that?
The heat index was 115 today.
Yeah.
Oh shit! It was only like,
We're fine.
yeah, it's like 95 here today, 100 tomorrow, something like that.
still hot. Still hot, you know.
Yeah, it's
Not
hot
sweater
either way.
weather.
It looks like you showered and brushed your hair and everything for tonight's performance. What's going on, Massetti?
I did.
I got to make him big. I got to make
Yeah,
him
well, I
big.
mean, I'm on the big stage with you guys. I gotta fit the bill.
Well, yeah, most people don't shower to come on the show, though. John Mears
yeah.
of PPL said he worked all day. Ron Stone, he put his hat on, and Randall put his hat on. So, you know what? Do you realize? Did you look at the lineup tonight? Who you're on here with, Massetti?
I did, and I've been watching in the other room. I don't fit in this class.
Yeah, you do.
I appreciate you letting me be here with all these guys.
Why wouldn't you?
The Big Four. Call it the Big Four. Just
thanks.
You know.
The Final Four. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. That's even better. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
What's happening in MLM world? We got a couple. We got Winnemucca coming up this weekend.
We do. We are
That's
headed
what
out to Winnemucca, Nevada.
Kenzie did
it's out-
not do well in geography in school, Brian.
That's okay. I'll tell you where it is. It's pretty far away. Like it's kind of central to eastern Nevada. It's a ways out there, but it's a tri-county fair. We've been going out there for I don't know this is probably our 4th year. It's a great little town. It's neat. We have a good following of our local California pullers, and of course Chris from Nevada, but it's still a trek for him. So it's fun. We go out there, have a good time. Yeah, it is about the middle of nowhere, Nevada. But it's cool. It's a fun little place. They pack the stands. Last year we got 2 inches of rain during the day. From like 10 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, rained about 2 inches out there. we still were able to get the pull off and had a great event. So looking forward to going back.
How many pulls in Nevada, Brian, are there a year?
We do one.
Okay.
There's a couple others that go on early to mid-August, but there's one that we do.
Okay, cool. Winnemucca. Who's the
Yeah.
promoter out there, Brian?
the Tri-County Fair and
Okay.
us, we work together. So it's actually a fair. It's their county fair. They'll have a rodeo on. So we pull on Sunday, which is not typical for us, but it is a 3-day weekend. So we pull Sunday. They have a big rodeo out there Saturday night. It's a neat little area. It's fun to go to, hang out. Probably a bunch of pullers will get together and we'll go to a Basque restaurant on Saturday night when we all get there and just hang out, have a good time. So, yeah. We are looking forward to having the Baby Huey team there, kind of a home state pull for them, if you will, even though they've got a good 3-4 hour drive.
Yeah, I always say Texas pullers and West Coast pullers are the most committed for the travel that you guys have. It's insane.
Hey, I learned a lot about Texas. We just went there last week. Our trip from our front door to James's school was 1,550 miles. When we crossed into Texas, we were at 1,000 miles. So a third of our trip was in the state of Texas, and there was a lot more to go that we didn't get to. So that is a big driving state right there.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So this coming Sunday, we will be in Winnemucca, and then we'll come home. And the following weekend, Saturday the 7th, we are headed up to Santa Rosa, Northern California, for the West Coast Diesels event. I think this is their seventh annual. It's a big show and shine it's a car show, truck show, like big truck show. We do the tractor pulls, truck and tractor pulls. That is a fun event. Huge turnout there of both pickups, show vehicles, spectators. Probably one of our larger shows for sure.
Yeah, I had a couple different posters for that, Brian. I'm put those up there now.
Now that's our third event of September. The Souza Truck Show.
I didn't mean to get ahead of you.
No,
Here we
that's
go.
okay. Yeah, so this is the West Coast Diesel Show, and they do have that truck is their shop truck, if you will. It pulls in it'd be a 3.6.
Yeah, we saw that. I saw it at GSI last year.
They were at GSI, and then they also have a couple of. So this belongs to the brothers that own the shop, this particular one. But there's a couple of trucks that are, I don't know, shop supported, if you will. Very good customers of theirs that they work on, and they represent the West Coast brand, and they all run very well. So we. And then this one is the Souza Memorial Truck Show, which benefits the AJ Souza Dyslexia Foundation. This will be in Turlock at the end of the month. It'll be Saturday the 28th. We'll be putting on a truck and tractor pull at their event. This is their 4th year of their event. Last year they added us in, and it's a great mix. You get the pulling, and you have all these sweet show trucks, and everything just kind of fits together well. So it's fun to get together with these guys.
Again, if you just joined us, Brian Massetti, owner of MLM Motorsports, join us live from California. We bring him on later in the show, and we expose the West Coast family, a pulling family, to Let's Grow Pulling. We had Greg Randall on earlier, executive director of the NTPA or something like that. I always forget his title. Ron Stone, the voice of the Outlaws. He's the vice president. John Mears, him and Christy run own Pro Pulling League. So great to have them on the night. Now we bring on Brian Massetti of MLM Motorsports. We've developed a good friendship over the last couple of years, and Beer Money Pulling Team works closely with Brian to promote all the MLM Motorsports event and get him on here. And then, of course, we had great support from the West Coast Pullers as well, coming out to the Pullers Championships with vehicles. And Brian actually himself flew out with the sons, James, Trevor, and had a great time. And it was great to see them. I think he got exposed to a pretty good event. And Holzhauer's got another event coming up, this PPL event here, September 6th and 7th. So a lot of good stuff going on, Brian. So
Definitely. And we really appreciate, our friendship, obviously, but we appreciate the help that Beer Money gives us and the exposure that we get with your help and support. And I know that's a team effort on your side. It's not just Jason, but it's Mackenzie and everyone else involved.
Oh yeah, it's
That's doing that for us.
less of me. It's less of me. I'm just a pretty face, Brian. I don't know.
You're the idea guy.
I am the idea.
But anyway, I do really appreciate everything.
Okay, this
You guys
Garrett
do.
Reeve guy. Let's talk about this Garrett Reeve guy. He's comment on the show. What's he say, first of all? MLM, the best in the West. U.S. Awesome people right there. That's American flag. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
Oh, I see U.S. That's what that
That's
means
a
now. I saw that on YouTube today. So Garrett, 16 years old, started driving the truck, and he's just freaking winning every time he hooks the truck. And he's driving the truck that Donnie could never get hooked up, right?
Well, okay, if you want to go there.
I mean, Donnie's my friend. Donnie's my friend, and I'm gonna say it like it is. So.
Yeah. So,
If
yeah,
Brian,
everything-
I know Donnie's
everything
the
you-
sponsor, so if you don't want to go there, we can.
no, everything you said is accurate, and
Okay, yeah.
I
I love
think-
Donnie Reeves with my
but-
whole heart.
well, but I think Donnie kind of wears that as a badge of honor that his grandson has taken that truck and he's literally just kicking everyone's ass. I mean, it's been fun, and Garrett turned 16 at your pull. I don't know
Yep,
if you remember, but
I
I think
do.
that Saturday was his birthday. So just turned 16, started driving. Well, he made a test pass at our place, and then started driving this season. And I think and I don't know, he and I talked about it at one event. But he'd won half of the events he's driven in so far this year, and I mean I think he's won the last 4 that he's been at. He's just got a feel for it. It's pretty incredible.
Some people have that ability. We talked about Jeff Hurt earlier. John Mears was saying he could drive anything. I can't drive anything. Like I'm the first one to admit that. But some people can feel it in the seat of their pants, and maybe it's that trucker blood in there. I'm being sincere. The Reeve Trucking, obviously, they can just feel it.
And he's had the experience of being at events his whole life, growing up around it, with his dad and his grandpa. But that's different until you get in there and feel it. And the one that really sticks out to me was, he won our last event, but the previous event he also won. But it didn't hop or bounce. It was just the truck was a little unhappy. He just backed out of it a little bit and then eased back into it, and it just picked up and took off. Which a note. I mean, that's just something you can't teach that.
That's a wildly tricky thing to do. I mean, I can tell you after watching 4-wheel drive trucks for a long time, the minute you start playing back on that throttle and try to come back aggressively, if you nail it, you're golden. But 3 out of 4 pullers, they're going to bounce more aggressively when they try to start getting those tires. You've got to break those tires loose on that bounce. So that's a tricky thing to nail. So that
one that sticks out in my mind as an awesome piece of driving that he did it and it worked and he ended up winning. But definitely a great family. And when you meet him, you wouldn't think he's 16 years old. He carries himself as far more mature than a 16-year-old. But so it's been fun to see that. And then, we've had a lot of fun with James. He's 18 now, but he's the second youngest driver. And so the two of them have been doing well. And it's just been fun for the class. It's exciting out here now.
We're rating the RTCI Motorsports Facebook page right now. Donnie Reeves' Facebook page, playing some videos.
Lori does a fantastic job of taking videos and posting them for us.
Where's this at, Massetti?
This could have been Susanville. Yeah, our last event, Susanville.
Okay. Now that's Donnie's truck. Or is that Spike's truck?
It's Spike's truck, but Donnie's driving it because they had a little run on motor issues, so Donnie took it to drive it. This wasn't the best pass.
This is Susanville, California?
Yeah.
There's Lori zooming out. She didn't want to show that any close up on that.
It's a little rough.
We saw that. We saw that. Is this James?
Yeah, James is driving this one.
Boy, that whole shot, it's giving him fits right there. It wants to give him into the bounce. That's a couple in a row we've seen flirt with that. And then it levels out on the money side of the track.
It was the starting line was a little difficult on that.
Kenzie's just flipping through some videos while we keep talking.
This is fun to watch. I get a kick out of this because everything about it, your eyes get so adjusted. You know, I've spent my entire summer in eastern Nebraska, western Iowa. A lot of corn and bean fields with a lot of the same iron, and it's a lot of fun to look at different dirt, different iron, and then just the backdrops of pulling in California. You know, there's something, you know, that's cool to see. I like checking this stuff out from time to time.
This fairground's kind of out on the outskirts of town, if you will. So that's just kind of high desert area up there, I guess.
Brian, what are the top 3 things you're most proud of for the 24 pulling season with MLM so far?
I am thrilled with the turnout that we've had of equipment. Like our Pro Modified class. So that's an older video there because he wasn't in Susanville, but I think the smallest class we've had of these Pro Modifieds has been 9, and I think it was in Susanville.
Oh, good.
But then also the modified tractors, the limited pro stock, even our super stock gas trucks, our turnouts have been great. One thing I'm very proud of is the tight knit community of the pullers that are supporting our events. I don't want to sound bad, but I'm most proud of our team. I think if I had to pick the top 3, the top thing that I'm most proud of is our team, and that's starts with Christy, with our kids, my parents, my brother, Brad Griffin, John Spielman, the Cal Poly tractor pull team that helps us at every event. So just the team that we've put together over the years is probably our greatest accomplishment. And I think if I had to pick a third thing I'm most proud of this season is what we have coming in store for the future. I feel like we have elevated the sport of pulling in the state of California to where we are, and we're not done yet. We're going to keep it going and growing, and that starts with our events, trying to make them first class for everybody, for spectators and for competitors. And our invitational event that we've got coming up, and just how things are going. So if that works, that's the 3 things I'm most proud of.
I like it.
What about bring us up to speed really quickly on some points races. I want to hear about, do we have any blowouts in a good way, like someone who's just killing the season? And do we have any dog fights, you know, where you've got 2 of them coming down to the wire in certain classes?
So Susanville was our 6th out of 12 points event. So we're right in the halfway season. And in our Pro Modified trucks, I think Garrett and Yellow Fever are within 6 points. And we do a 50-point scale, 2 points per spot. And so when we're having 9 and 10 trucks show up, you know, 1st to 9th is a pretty good size swing. So that class is definitely our tightest points race because we've had the biggest numbers all season. The tractor classes, we've had a couple guys that have had to miss a few for different reasons, either broken or health or whatever. So that, you know, when one guy shows up or 2 guys show up and then they get a 50-point lead on somebody, it's hard to recover that in only 12 events when you've only got 3 or 4 in a class. So I don't know. I know I have updated the points, but I don't know that I've sent it to Christy yet to get them on the website in all of our classes. But right now, the points race is tightest in in the Pro Modified class. So that's been fun to watch.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Brian.
I think the top 5 in that class are within, I'm going to just say 20, 25 points, which with 6 more shows to go, with the numbers we've been having, that's not a huge, I mean, that's pretty easy to cover that ground.
Yeah. Well, you brought up an interesting point, something we're forgetting about. We're hitting our other 3 big associations tonight, and we're talking about points champions we've already crowned, and who do we think is going to do it? Because we're on the downhill slope, over here on the east side of things. But you guys run your schedule a little bit different. It's a little bit more spread out. It's a little more heavy in the spring and heavy in the fall, with maybe some off time in the summer. So you're just right in the middle. There's a lot. Your story's nowhere near the final chapter yet. You've still got a lot of stuff that's going to develop and shake down over these next couple of weeks and months.
Most definitely. With 3 events in September coming up, that's a big deal. We have 1 in the middle of October, and then we have our 2 in November. So you're right. We've got, things can change. Things will change. So yeah, and our, out here, our season, like our MLM season, starts usually in May, maybe April, and then we'll go through November. But Max Cackle, they'll put on an event in February during the Tulare Farm Show. So, really for pulling and for having your equipment ready, it's February to November.
Yeah.
So it's not a lot of downtime, which is good, because too much time on our hands, we'll get bored and come up with other stuff to do. So.
You'll start souping up golf carts or something like that in your shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad there's a lot of season left, and that's good for you guys, because as the world gets more connected, we're going to wrap up stuff here in the Midwest, and we as fans are going to get hungry. And guess who's still got a product for all these eyeballs and these eager fans to go look at and follow a points race? So that should play to your hand pretty nicely. So that's a cool way that things shake down out there.
Yes. And we're, with our invitational being so late in the year in November, we are very excited to be working with Beer Money and also the Full Pull for the live stream and the broadcasting. And I understand there's probably going to be betting and wagering on our event. So we're excited about that, and we appreciate that and the spotlight that brings to us.
Yeah, we're excited to come out. We talked about you on our weekly meeting this morning, and I've been talking to Kenny Shepard, start talking about the live stream, but it will be live streamed on fullpull.live. Fans, there will be betting up on fullpullpicks.com, and we will. They're going to make their announcement here in the next couple of weeks, Brian, on Full Pull, that we're coming to Madera, California, baby.
Cool. We are excited,
and I think we're bringing some pulling vehicles with us. Is a rumor. So.
I hope so.
That's what I like to hear. And Michael, I hope the illness that you come up with that week isn't too bad, because I'm looking forward to seeing you here.
Ooh.
Mike's got diarrhea.
I
don't need to know the specifics. I just want to know that he's too sick to go to school, but well enough to fly to California.
If somebody gave me a phone call and they said that your pulling services in some obscure capacity are needed in California, I would answer that phone call very quickly. So
okay.
No, that'd be sweet. I do want to make it out there sometime in any regard. I've got to experience it. That's just a neat deal.
Definitely.
The DSI was kind of what brought us together, Brian, and that's been fun because it is the time of the year where we do have a whole audience. The rest of the country is done pulling. Like Diesel's in Dark Corners in Georgia is the weekend before, and that's basically the diesel truck Super Bowl for the 2.6 and the 3.0s. I mean, I know we just had Shides, but everybody goes to that one down in Georgia because you know how the season gets, Brian. Everybody's kind of tired, but after being gone off for about 6 weeks, like let's go pulling again. You need a little bit of a break. What John Mears called a long nap.
Yeah. The big nap.
A big nap.
Big nap. Yeah.
Big nap.
Yeah, even though, as you know, like bet on the duck. Yeah. Guys like John, though, there is no downtime, no nap time. It's a 12-month or more deal. So
that's what makes it fun.
Yeah. Talking about the live stream, I do want to mention the West Coast Diesels event is also going to be live streamed with that
Okay.
Speed Union TV. The guys that did our event in Stockton in June,
What's it called?
Speed Union TV.
Speed Union.
Speed Union TV. Yeah, they do a lot of dirt tracks around the area, and they got hooked up with the AgFest people, and they broadcast our event. And I didn't get involved in any of that side because that was with AgFest and the Speed Union guys. But some of the West Coast Diesels families at home bought the live stream and watched it, and they liked it so much. So the West Coast guys got a hold of the Speed Union. They worked out a deal, and they're going to live stream the event.
Cool.
So that's pretty exciting.
I think live streaming is the next big thing for our sport, to really put more eyeballs on it. And I'm excited, obviously, about fullpolepicks.com as well as that continues to grow. We get licensed in more states. So
Sure.
It's going to be fun.
Definitely.
It's going to be fun.
Anything we can do to get more eyes on our sport. And the thing I like about this, the way the Speed Union deal is set up, they have monthly subscriptions for people that want to watch all their short track racing and whatnot. So they will sell more just for the event, of course, but their subscribers who are used to watching dirt track racing are now going to watch a truck and tractor pull and be exposed to it. They may have never seen it. So I'm excited about that kind of stuff that we can do. Just working to keep it out there.
I like it.
Keep us out there. So.
I like it. Any surprises this year? I mean, Garrett's been the biggest surprise for me. I follow a couple of your classes pretty close to, the classes I see at GSI. Are there any other surprises, Brian, in any of the other classes? Like, wow, they've really stepped their game up this year and with MLM.
No, I mean, Melanesia is still kicking all of our asses, but I think there's a number of vehicles either being built or rebuilt right now. So I think that plays into next season. I know in our middleweight mod class, if you will, the twin engine class, there's going to be probably 3 new tractors out there next year that are all going to be good top shelf stuff. So that'll be exciting. The hot farms, but they're not new and exciting. They're always been there and exciting. So, so I think next year that twin engine modified class will be, it'll be a whole new animal because there's going to be, like I said, another 3 of them. But other than that, I want to say I'm not surprised because I know the level of equipment we have out here.
Yeah.
And so the competition is good, and like Trevor says, that 3.0 class we have is pretty tough. I mean, hell, that's a class that there's a lot being rebuilt right now. Several. But the trucks that are out there running are super good trucks. So that's going to be a tough class once they all start coming back out. So it's good. We are really, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but with the vehicles that are out here, we are really in a good spot. We've got great equipment. They're continually upgrading. And this year we're getting guys that are showing up a lot, which is great. We even had old Dave Vienendahl from Oregon come down to 3 of our events so far. He's been to half of our events from Oregon. So that's pretty awesome that we're getting that kind of getting people to travel to come down and play with us too. So it's good. We are in a good spot, I think. We're trying to get these events all in order, and we're already booking shows and signing contracts for next year. So that's exciting too, that we're adding. I already know of one that they've sent me the contract that we're going to add for next year. And then I got another guy that wants us to come up there, but I got to work out something else close to that one because it's kind of too far away. But we'll keep working on it and figure it out.
No, that's the hardest part, Brian, is the distance you guys have to travel to do that. So,
and I mean, we've got, we're bringing 4, 5 trucks, that are, everything's eating up fuel. And so I understand guys that are, I get it. We're all traveling. And if I'm not going to ask people to travel to the far corners of the state just for one event because I feel like everybody would do it for me, but I don't want to disrespect them and ask them to go that far. And it's just gonna hurt getting there and getting home, and just for one pull, I'd rather just do a pull closer to home or something. So we look at that too when we're booking events: is what's realistic? Who can travel that far? Who can take the time to go? We try to take care of our pullers that take care of us.
Bingo. Well said. Well said. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Is registration open on the website, Brian?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for Winnemucca?
For Winnemucca. And then next Monday it'll open for Santa Rosa. We only open one event at a time just to keep things clean and easy. It works better for us that way. So, a week is plenty of time to get registered. So next week we'll open up Santa Rosa, but right now Winnemucca is open.
Good deal. What classes? So you talked about the mod class a little bit. Are the diesel are you seeing more diesel trucks starting to come along? I know Matt Orsetti just commented. I should be out very soon. He has a 3.0 truck, if I remember correctly.
He does, and I think at our event last year, it actually cracked the block. It looked like. I think I just saw him. He had posted a picture online that it looked bad, but hopefully he's getting that fixed up. That 3.0 diesel class is our biggest diesel pulling class. There probably could be 15 if everybody showed up at one time, which is a huge class for us. But we're probably averaging 5. But I know of 3 that are being rebuilt right now. So then those guys were regulars. They're just making changes and what have you. So that class is definitely, as they all come back in, it'll be great.
Matt says they should be ready for the Souza poll.
Oh, cool. Good deal.
When will we see the class list or for GSI 3?
It'll probably around the 1st of October is when we usually get that done. So about a month prior to the event.
Okay, good.
Yeah. We kind of, I don't know if we do it backwards or not, but we try to get everything for the event ready and then we do our classes after that. I mean, we know the classes, but we don't know the competitors yet. Plus some of them are, with the number of vehicles we've had showing up this year, some of them are going to be based on points to get in. Your point standings to get into the event. So, but we're working on all that. So, yeah.
Have you seen Kevin Moore with the big mods that he bought from Shelton's at all?
He ran. He's been out a couple times. I know we've been talking about the Invitational with him. Kevin is so involved in big time car shows, and then also I believe he's a part owner in a Nitro Funny car. And I think they're expanding to 2 cars next year, and he's going to drive one of them. So he's getting licensed like maybe September and October. He's got to go somewhere and get licensed. So he is a busy guy, but I know that next year this year they're kind of shaking the bugs out and getting them figured out. And then I think next year he's planning on running pretty hard. So
Manuel Vera says, "Bring some shades. I'm bringing some bling." What?
Manuel
just talking about.
Well, I think it's a brand new motor, but I mean all the plumbing, the intercooler pipes, and the exhaust pipe. I just posted a picture. It's all polished. I think it's all stainless steel polished out, and it's Manuel's truck has always been super clean, maybe too clean for a pull truck, but it is nice. I haven't seen it in person yet, but the pictures I've seen, it looks sharp. I don't. You find a picture of it?
Yeah, Kenzie, we're Facebook stalking him right now.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
gonna put him up on the screen.
Stay tuned. Is that what he calls it? The stay tuned
I-
truck.
I think now Manuel is huge in tuning pickups, like street pickups or race trucks or whatever. So I believe he's got a little side business going, and that's where the stay tuned comes in. I mean,
Okay.
I think it may also be a play on words, see what else is coming, but
Yeah.
he's a big time tuner of these things. But and I don't think that picture does it justice under the hood there, but it's super clean.
I like it. Stay tuned. That is definitely a play on words. So
Yeah. So and that's a 3.0 truck. So we'll see. I think he made a couple passes a couple weeks ago. So looking forward to seeing what he can do.
So James is at Texas A&M.
No, he's at SMU, Southern Methodist.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then Trevor's going into his senior year at Cal Poly, right?
Trevor is going into his senior year. Yep. But he doesn't start for another 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have sound on that one? Let's hear it. Did you play it? Yeah. That's good stuff. I like that.
Yeah.
I love seeing diesel smoke in California. It makes me smile.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like,
I hope Kamala Harris is pissing her pants right now when she sees that stuff.
Who's that?
It's she's running for president allegedly. So
Never heard of her.
never. She's from California.
Yeah.
Eh,
There's certain words we don't use in this house.
I understand. I understand. The big question is Joan Massetti driving Yellow Fever Sunday. Oh, here we go. Is this a big surprise?
Well, like a month or so ago, I put a picture. I took a picture of mom driving, like from back in the 80s, and I said something about her driving, whatever. I think it was back in the Oakland Coliseum, and so James and I were at the shop just fooling around, and I said, "Oh, this is going to be funny. Watch!" And I said, "If we get like 250 likes on this post, that mom will drive or Joan would drive Yellow Fever." So James and I are laughing. Yeah, haha, we posted it. And so later that day, I talked to mom and she goes, "Oh, that was pretty cute what you did there. You know, that's funny. But I don't think you have 250 friends, so I'm not worried about it." I said, "Well, I don't, mom, but you do. And your friends are seeing that too." So I asked her the other day, I said, you want to drive? What do you think? And she goes, "Yeah, no." So I don't think it's going to happen, but it was a cool thought. I don't know. Maybe we can talk her into it, but I kind of doubt it. I don't know. We'll get Dad or Kevin or I don't know. We'll find somebody. Hell, Trevor would probably do it. So, we're gonna have our hands full though this weekend. We've got both school tractors are hopefully up and running, and then our 3 vehicles. So between Trevor and Kevin and whoever shows up from Cal Poly, there's gonna be 5 vehicles to take care of and get down the track. So we'll just hope for the best on that one.
All hands on deck. All hands on deck.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, good
Yeah.
deal. Good
So,
deal. Well, Brian, thanks for coming on tonight. We're going to wrap it up here.
thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate everything you do.
I mean, I know John Mears and Greg Randall and Ron Stone are talking about that they got to be on the same show with Brian Massetti tonight. So
Yeah, they're all in bed. They're like, "Oh shit, this show's over. We're done." But I do appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys letting me on with these guys.
Uncle Kevin just woke up. Let's push Joan in there. Full pull Grammy. So
Hey, it could still happen. I mean, you never know. So
I think we should.
I'm gonna try.
I think it'd be super cool. Your parents are pretty awesome.
They definitely are.
Pretty awesome.
They definitely are.
Brian Massetti, thank you for growing pulling on the West Coast. You have a great vision. You have a great group of pullers behind you and the people helping you. So we continue to take
That we
things
do.
to the next level. Don't ever settle, my man. Don't ever settle.
Nope. We won't. We're gonna keep
And don't-
on.
And
Keep
don't read
pulling.
the comments. And don't read the comments.
Don't read.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
inside joke, but it's all good. I think you know what I mean, everybody. So
Yes.
Mhm.
Massetti, have a good night, my man.
Thank you. You too. Appreciate you, everybody.
See you, bud.
Brian.
Good night.
Major League Motorsports on. It's been fun to work with them. Mike, the Massettis are so passionate about it, and they're pullers that
Yep.
support them out there. And they, there was a time, back in the indoor pulling days that California was a big deal, and that just kind of fell off the face of the earth. And
Had a big footprint in the early days of
Yep.
pulling, yeah, like you said in the 80s. But they're just hungry. I mean, they're infectious when you start talking about them, and they want to be there and they want to go pulling, and I jive with that enthusiasm. I like that. So they're heading in the right direction.
all right, Mike, what did you learn tonight?
What did I learn?
Last
So
2
you
hours
have
and 10
you
minutes.
have different associations, and as a fan, I was guilty of falling into the trap. I enjoyed tonight because everybody got their spotlight in the sun, and you fall into this trap of thinking a certain way. There's a lot of pulling out there, and each association is bringing something unique to the table. I think of them now as like college football conferences. Each kind of catering to their own style and their own geographic location. And there's so much pulling out there that it's almost difficult to keep up with, not only because there's so much pulling, but there's so much available to be seen and digested. These are good problems to have. These are a good thing when I'm behind on the live streams that I need to watch because there's so many live streams available. That's a good problem to have, if that makes sense.
Yep, it is. Yeah, and I mean, we get to work with, FullPull.live and Outlaw Pulling TV, and that's been fun to. Not everybody can drive to every event, but the quality of the live stream now that we're putting out, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And obviously we're never going to be satisfied, but it's been a lot of fun. Internet will cause issues, and technology will cause issues from time to time. But for the most part, things work good, and it's been fun to do that, Kenzie. So. Madison we had a good live stream Saturday night in Madison, and I know Wellington went good for FullPull.live. FullPull.live will be in Wauseon and Canton this Friday, and in Canton on Saturday, some tight point races with the NTPA Grand National. And for $40 a month, you can't beat it. $39.95 or whatever it is. It's a hell of a good deal. So,
yep.
And we're going to be launching our fall schedule for all of our monthly subscribers. Got some cool venues that people are going to do, and then later this year we'll roll out the winter schedule, if you will, as well. To keep all of our monthly subscribers entertained all year long, Mike Idle, all year long. So
green flags and tight chains, pulling is fun.
Kenzie, you need a motto. Like mine's I do home loans. His is green flags and tight chains. What's yours?
I make pulling look good.
I make pulling look good.
That's pretty slick.
Yeah.
Have you been thinking about that? Have you had that loaded in your back pocket, just waiting for the time, or did you come up with that right now?
That was like right now.
Oh man, this is good stuff.
I'm going to buzz through our events coming up that we're going to be talking about. New London, Ohio, Monday. Ohio, Sandwich, Illinois, Lumberton, North Carolina, Unionville, Missouri, Buckner, Missouri, Nashville, Illinois. And then here's the added paybacks that Brad's putting out there for that event. Allegan, Michigan, Dragway 42, Nevada, Missouri,
Yep.
And Diesel's in Dark Corners. If you're a promoter, you want help with social, give us a call. We'll help you out. And of course, we got Winnemucca, Nevada, Santa Rosa, California.
Winnemucca, didn't Johnny Cash sing a song about Winnemucca? I'm pretty sure I think he sang a song about Winnemucca.
I'm not sure.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
You know
I'm
that
not a
one
big-
where he's been everywhere? I think he went to Winnemucca.
I've been everywhere, man. Does he say
Yeah.
Winnemucca?
I think he's been to Winnemucca. He went to Oskaloosa, Iowa in that song. That's kind of fun. So I think he went to Winnemucca too.
Huh. That's good knowledge from the Mike Idle
There
man.
you go. Just stuff
different
like that.
information.
You just never know. The
Next week
Sandwich,
we'll-
the
next week
Sandwich Police,
go ahead.
Nevada, and Winnemucca. You're learning things.
Thanks, Mike. I feel a lot better now. So we're gonna do a couple 3 previews, and then we're gonna sign off. So Mike, do your sign off. Say something cool.
Guys, thanks for watching Let's Grow Pulling. There's no bad way to watch pulling.
Perfect. Love you guys. Was it? Okay. That's a cool Unionville, Missouri. That's our promo video coming up Friday, September 6th, Putnam County Fair. Here's our friends Buckner, Missouri, Ken Summer. Buckner, Missouri, September 7th. And of course, Nashville, Illinois, Friday, September 6th, Saturday, September 7th. No sound? There's no sound on that?
I just downloaded it.
Huh, that's okay. And then we'll get my end video ready. Show up. I told you we'll leave about 1. We'll pick you about 1:30 the office.
Yeah, we're not.
Let's make some noise. Good running. John Deere, Animal Deep Iowa coming up. We got one right behind you.